1-0 at half-time against League 2 Crawley. That was a 7 o'clock kick-off. This one kicked off at 7:45. Been lively so far here at Sixfields, Ian Danter.
7 minutes gone. Northampton 0, Southampton 0. Best chance early on went to the Cobblers. It was Cameron McGeehan who won possession just inside his own half off Damien Downs, strode forward to around about the edge of the D and let fly with his left foot. And Alex McCarthy, back in the Southampton goal tonight, well down to his left-hand side, made a terrific save to turn it round the post for a corner which came to nothing. Northampton 0, Southampton 0.
Back to the Riverside goal there, Mark Wilson.
It's Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster Rovers 2. It's a real freak goal. It was great work down the left-hand side. Gibson puts the cross in. It fell to the Spurs loanee Damalola Ajayi. He hit it goal-bound, and it looked like it was Jones who went to clear it off the line. He kicked it against his standing leg, and it went in the back of the net. Absolutely nothing Glover can do here, but it's great football again down the left from Doncaster. They're playing some sublime stuff. Ajayi's shot going on target from 15 yards out, and it was Alfie Jones who turned it into his own net. Big shot coming here. Borough 0, Doncaster 2.
Well, Mark gave us that transfer news about Rav van der Berg earlier leaving Middlesbrough. I was speaking to a Borough fan earlier who said it's not a problem. Alfie Jones is in the building, and he's just as good, if not better. Sounds like he's scored a cracking own goal tonight. Talking of transfer news, we've got a bit from our chief football correspondent, Alex Crook. What you got?
And we've got some positive news for Newcastle United, because there's obviously been a lot of gloom hanging over St James's Park during this summer transfer window. Deal done with AC Milan for Malik Tior. I'm expecting an official announcement imminently. It's a €35 million deal plus £5 million in add-ons. This is a player that Newcastle have been tracking for the past 3 years. Negotiations have been led by Andy Howe over the past 12 months. He's basically the de facto sporting director since the departure of Paul Mitchell. Newcastle and AC Milan have a really strong relationship, of course, since the signing of Sandro Tonali by the Magpies, and I'm told the player was inspired to join the project after being impressed with Newcastle's pitches, and in particular Eddie Howe's vision and his ability to develop players. So I think this is a really positive signing for Newcastle United.
Now, our chief football correspondent never clocks off, Alex Crook, who's reporting on Portsmouth Reading for us and keeping up with the transfer stories, and you can find out more and more stories on the website talksport.com. Bristol City lead MK Dons 1-0 in the Carabao Cup first round tonight. It's Jason Knight with the goal. Both Bristol clubs at home playing on the same night tonight. It's happened before. It's not unheard of. The two clubs 5 miles apart. Rovers in the north of the city, the Robins south of the River Avon. Bristol City 1, MK Dons 0. Let's get the latest from the Hawthorns. talkSports' Jeff Peters.
It's West Brom 0, Derby 0, but it's been all West Brom in the early stages of this. They've been attacking constantly, and Price and Fellows have linked up so well. First Price played in Fellows, whose shot was blocked, and then it was the other way round. Fellows with the pass into Price, tight angle, Vickers making a near post save. Price, who scored the winner here at the weekend against Blackburn, and then almost a dream moment for the Baggies academy youngster Alex Williams, 20 years old, on his debut. Deep corner from Mowat from the right. Williams with a free header and ended up in the side netting. It looks like almost like a training ground exercise at the moment, with attack against defence. Derby just can't get into the West Brom half as it stands. Really bright start here. West Brom 0, Derby 0.
A couple of goals for you. Oxford lead Colchester 1-0. That's Championship against League 2. Danny Cowley, the Colchester manager, said before the game that they've got nothing to lose. Well, they've got the cup tie to lose, and they're 1 down to Tyler Goodrum's 9th minute goal. Also in the cup, all Championship affair, it's Watford 0, Norwich City 1. He's still at Norwich. He's playing tonight. He's scoring tonight. The captain, Josh Sargent, with the goal. He has been linked with a move away. Various clubs, Leeds and Burnley, the latest to be linked with him. 133 games for Norwich, 48 goals, 12 assists. We'll add another goal to that because he has scored tonight. Liam Manning loves him. The manager said he epitomises everything we should build our culture on. Still a Norwich player, and he scored a goal at Watford as Norwich lead 1-0 in the Carabao Cup. Let's go to the CBS Arena on talkSport. Dave Rowe.
Luton 0, decent start here. Coventry have edged it so far. They've had the one main sighted goal which fell to Ellis Sims after a ball forward by Kesler Hayden into Sims's path just inside the area, dragged his shot quite well wide. A player who hasn't scored since mid-February. Ellis Sims could certainly do with one, but off target there. Also some neat play by Hadji right down the left-hand side to create a chance for the ball into the area just behind Sims. Best moment so far for Luton. Excellent run by Kodua in midfield trying to feed Lamine Fane, who has been a transfer target reportedly of Coventry. Fane into the area, but his shot was blocked away. The home side dealt with that one. Coventry 0, Luton 0.
Full time in the Champions League for Rangers. Paul Mitchell.
A successful night, but one that was fraught with problems. Jack Butland in the Rangers goal on excellent form, outperforming his defence. Pilsen ahead in the first half thanks to Rafu Durasimi goal. Pilsen then put Rangers under extreme pressure, but Lyle Cameron's first Rangers goal on the hour was key. Pilsen press created numerous chances, but it took just one more. Svet Markovic with 7 minutes to go. Rangers lost on the night, but they go through by 4-2 on aggregate.
Well, they've drawn both their Scottish Premiership games, 4 points behind Celtic already, but going through in the Champions League, Russell Martin's Glasgow Rangers. Another goal in the Carabao Cup. Wigan lead Notts County 1-0. Paul Mullen has scored. First starts for Wigan. He's been coming off the bench in the league, but it's his first start tonight. In fact, he's now 30. He's had only 2 seasons at League One level. In the 19-20 season, got 3 in 20 for Tranmere. Last season, 3 in 26 for Wrexham. Still a bit to prove at League One level. He scored for Wigan tonight. They lead Notts County by 1-0. What's happening at Paul Mullen's old club, Wrexham? Courtney Sweetman-Kirk and Adam Bridge.
It's Wrexham 0, Hull City 0. It's Hull City. You've had the better of the early exchanges here. It took a while for the game to settle down, but a good run by Casey Palmer from halfway. He reached the edge of the penalty area before his shot was blocked by some last-ditch defending by Dan Scarr. And then we had a moment, I was expecting a goal, to be honest with you. Ryan Giles from the left-hand side with a free kick. A delightful cross. He's got so much quality in that left foot of his. And we saw Ollie McBurney rise with a free header. But for some reason, Courtney, he didn't get it on target.
Yeah, he should have done a lot better with it. But Ollie McBurney, to be fair, I've been impressed. He's trying to isolate Dan Scarr and he's doing well in terms of playing into direct him, his hold-up play, playing it back, and Hull certainly looked the better, especially down that left-hand side. The kit seems to be getting in, and you mentioned a couple of shots coming across. Casey Palmer's one where he's driving across, but in all fairness, they've defended central areas really well, Wrexham, and for Wrexham, they're going a bit direct, actually, more than I thought, into Hardy, even straight from Okonkwo, trying to get direct into him, but in terms of, you know, Dylan Phillips in the Hull City goal, has been really clever in being off his line and ready to come and commit and clear his lines.
Quick word on the pitch here as well, Adrian. It's been relayed, and it's so good. Courtney went to get her boots from the car. It looks that nice. Almost 14 and a half minutes gone. Wrexham 0, Hull 0.
And if you follow Adam Bridge on Instagram, you'll know that he was threatening to streak through the sprinklers pre-match, and literally nobody wants that. Don't even want that image in their heads. Let's go to Home Park, talkSports, Lawrence Mora.
Where it is, Plymouth 0, QPR 0. And what's great about this competition this time of year is you do get little glimpses of stars to come. Joe Hatch is one of those. The Plymouth forward's 18 years old, a Wales age grade player, and he gave the first chance coming across the penalty area off the left, got in front of his marker, and his shot on the turn just narrowly over the bar. We've also seen Jamie Patterson with a long-range free kick go narrowly over, and it is all Plymouth. QPR barely touched the ball. Plymouth 0, QPR 0.
Let's go to Fratton Park. Latest there, Scott Minto and Alex Crook.
It's still Portsmouth 0, Reading 0, but we've just seen an almighty goalmouth scramble with Pompey agonisingly close to taking the lead. The Championship side is starting with a cross from the left-hand side. It was met brilliantly on the header by Mark Kozlowski on his debut, and it's a wonder save from Jack Stevens, the Reading goalkeeper, from point-blank range. It sparked an almighty melee inside the penalty area. There was almost an own goal in there. Thomas Waddingham, the Pompey striker, probably should have turned in one of about 4 rebound efforts, but until that point, Scott Minto, there's an argument League One Reading maybe with a better side.
No, I think they were, Crookie, for sure, and had half a chance at the far post with Finley Burns as well, but that without doubt, I mean, it's Pompey's first chance and the best chance of the game so far in this first half. It's a wonder ball in from Devlin, it really was. Defender's nightmare. He gets the header on it, Konofsky, as you say. It's a wonderful save. And he kind of just sticks his hand out, and if it had been a yard either side, he wouldn't have been able to stop it, but still, positioning right, and then it's about defending. Can you get the ball away? Waddingham couldn't get it in. Reading got it away, the first major chance of the game.
Yeah, there were a couple of half chances before that. Reading keeper Jack Stevens, inside 2 minutes, had to come racing all the way out of his penalty area. He got there just ahead of Yang Min Hyuk on his full debut for Pompey as he was bearing down on goal, and Finley Burns for Reading up from the back for a set piece. He'll only steer his effort wide at the far post. Very open game this, in front of a decent crowd at Fratton Park. It's Portsmouth 0, Reading 0.
Another cup first round goal, this one at Blundell Park. Grimsby Town 1, Shrewsbury Town 0. Justin Amaluza is going to be a winner. He has got it after 15 minutes. Grimsby free scoring, 6 goals in their 2 games so far. They came from 3-1 down to draw 3-3 at Harrogate at the weekend. Shrewsbury yet to score this season. They were battered 4-0 at Tranmere on Saturday when the manager Michael Appleton made 3 changes at half-time and said he could have made more, but had to keep subs back just in case of injuries in the second half. Let's go to Ewood Park. Latest there, John Dunn.
Where it's Blackburn 0, Bradford 2, 17.5 minutes in, and 2 early goals for Bradford, giving them the lead. Ibuturi with a sparkling volley on the left of the penalty area, less than 90 seconds in, and then Will Swan on his first start for Bradford since joining in the summer, taking full advantage of a slip-up by goalkeeper Nicholas Michalski. Since then, Blackburn really haven't come back into the game yet. One long-range effort that was deflected over, but it's League One Bradford, runners-up in 2013, who are having the better of things, controlling the game, backed by 2,500 supporters. They've not been out of round 1 in 8 of the last 12 seasons since being runners-up. They're having a great start here in Lancashire. Blackburn 0, Bradford 2.
It's still 0-0 here. Northampton 0, Southampton 0, but Northampton have just had one cleared off the line miraculously. Southampton's former manager Nathan Jones now in charge at Charlton. How are they getting on at the Valley tonight? talkSports Ian Abrahams.
We played 18 minutes, still Charlton 0, Stevenage 0. The game interrupted right at the beginning with a really bad head clash for Dan Phillips of Stevenage. He was down for about 3 or 4 minutes. Now he's going around with a sort of Terry Butcher style headband on. 4,092 here, so few here tonight. They've already counted it and told us how many are here. Not much happening on the pitch for them to be excited about right now. Charlton 0, Stevenage 0.
Well, Stevenage's best ever run in the League Cup was in the 22-23 season. 3rd round they reached. They've not done well in this competition, and in that 3rd round they were knocked out by Charlton on penalties. Let's go to the Bet365 in the Carabao Cup first round. Mickey Gray.
Yeah, whereas Stoke City 0, Walsall 0, and Stoke City, after a bright start and 2 early opportunities through Jamie Donnelly and Basson Lawal, really found themselves on the back foot of the last couple of minutes. Walsall certainly growing into the game. Albert Adoma intertwining passes with Josh Gordon. He got his shot away and it was blocked just on the edge of the 18-yard area. But the League Two side is starting to grow into this game. Stoke 0, Walsall 0.
And we're bringing you all the goals as they go in. Let me quickly run you through the scores so far this evening. Carabao Cup first round, Swansea 1, Crawley 0. About to get the second half underway there. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff. 7:30 kickoff, Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster 2. 7:45 kickoffs, Accrington 1 up against Peterborough. Bradford lead 2-0 at Blackburn. Bristol City 1, MK Dons 0. Mansfield lead at Chesterfield 1-0. Grimsby 1, Shrewsbury 0. Oxford 1, Colchester 0. Norwich lead 1-0 at Watford. Wigan 1 up against Notts County, and Wrexham. Wigan 1 up against Notts County. Wrexham are goalless with Hull City at the moment. Tranmere Burton postponed, and Rangers have made it through in the Champions League. They lost on the night, but they're through on aggregate. This is talkSport.
Kick-off on talkSport with Ladbrokes. 18+gambleaware.org.
Oh, bad traffic. Great news, isn't it? More time in the car. Joy. Maybe you don't feel it. Maybe you don't drive a Lexus NX yet. But when you do, you'll see the positive of peak hour, the delight in a detour, the love of the long way. The Lexus NX plug-in hybrid. Experience amazing before you arrive.
Get more matches than ever before with Virgin Media's bigger combo in Sports HD bundle, including Sky Sports HD, TV and M500 broadband. That's big on football, big on tennis, big on cricket, and big weekends glued to the biggest rugby matches. All for our lowest monthly price ever. Visit virginmedia.com. New customers on eligible bundles. Virgin Fibre areas. Subject to restrictions and credit check. No setup fee. Online only. Terms apply.
Hey, Harry. Hello, mate. Got any tips for the football? Your best bet is to head over to BetVictor. They're giving new customers a terrific welcome offer. If you bet a minimum of £10, they'll give you £30 in free bets.
Fool, that's a steal of a deal.
It's a good darn deal that'll make you squeal for real. Neil?
My name's not Neil.
I know, but it rhymes.
Listen to Harry and make your best bet on the football at BetVictor. 18 plus, opt in and bet on any football marketing at odds of evens or greater. No cash out, 7-day expiry. Terms and conditions apply. Gambleaware.org.
Got a paintwork scratch, bumper scuff or minor dent? Want it fixed like new? Of course you do. At Chips Away, we don't judge, we just fix it. Enter a few details online for a free, no-obligation estimate. We'll come to you, or you can visit one of our car care centres. For professional, affordable car body repairs with a lifetime guarantee, visit chipsaway.co.uk. Chips Away, like it never happened.
It's a chilled summer's day. The twins are splashing in the paddling pool while Mrs. Thing puts her feet up. She's proper chuffed, having saved money on a British Gas boiler service. It's like an MOT for your boiler, just £79, reduced from £109. Bliss. Well, it was nice while it lasted. British Gas, taking care of things. Visit britishgas.co.uk to learn more and see full T's and C's. Sale ends 9th of September 2025. Offer available to new boiler service contract customers.
Kick off on talkSport with Ladbrokes. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Wednesday night, the League Cup, live on talkSport 2.
And that settles it!
Huddersfield Town versus Leicester City.
Coverage from 7:30, kick-off 7:45. An absolutely magnificent effort!
Wednesday night, on high-octane football phenomenon. talkSport 2.
E-bag goal!
Carabao Cup first round, we've got another goal. It's come at Home Park, Lawrence Mora.
Where it is, Plymouth 0, QPR 1, and a first goal of the season for Australian Daniel Benny. It was Burrell who was all on his own at the back post. His downward header saved one-handed by Ashby Hammond, but there was Benny just a couple of yards out to knock the ball home. Goal completely against the run of play, but it is Plymouth 0, QPR 1.
Lawrence, listen, Tom Cleverley in there. He's already, after 2 defeats, conceding 5, already called for everyone at the club to have a bit of internal reflection. Is there a bit of a crisis going on at Plymouth this early in the season?
I think that there's a bit of concern, that is for sure. They really let some of their best players and biggest wage earners go during the season. Hardy, of course, up there at Wrexham, and in fact, as you join me, well, that is a penalty to Plymouth. The referee pointing to the spot as Finn was upended in the far side of the penalty area. But while they're clearing that up, Adrian, just to answer your point, yes, Tom Cleverley does seem like a man who's a little bit frustrated. He said after the defeat to Bolton at the weekend that they were already on target E for their striker. He was promised, I think, money to spend, a top 6 budget. The fans, that's what they expected coming into League One, but it hasn't transpired so far, and at the moment, after 2 straight defeats, they are looking for a little bit of confidence this evening. Jamie Patterson, the Plymouth forward, making his first start, is putting the ball on the spot right now as the goalkeeper steps back. Patterson just with his hands on his hips, right-footed. The goalkeeper just going to have a little bounce on top of his line. The referee clearing the penalty area, making sure everyone is outside. Patterson hasn't scored for Plymouth yet since signing in the summer. It's a short run up from the ex-Bristol City and Swansea forward, vastly experienced in the Championship, dropped down to League One, right-footed, a little stutter of a run-up, saved by Nadi in the QPR goal, and it remains Plymouth 0, QPR 1.
Wow, we've got goals elsewhere there. Cardiff lead Swindon 1-0, Kian Ashford on 21, and Norwich now 2-0 up at Watford's Marcelino Nunez has got the second there. Watford 0, Norwich City 2. All these in the first round of the Carabao Cup. To the Riverside, latest there with talkSports' Mark Wilson.
Still Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster Rovers 2. Ben Close with the opener, and Damola Ajayi, his shot was deflected in off Alfie Jones. It has gone down as an Ajayi goal. He did score in the Europa League for Spurs back in January, and he created another chance for Gibson, cross on the right hand side, and Gibson with a keeper off his line, actually headed wide of the target. Gibson then had a shot blocked. It has been all Doncaster Rovers, and remember, they made 11 changes coming into this one. The biggest compliment you can pay them is that you wouldn't know who's in the Championship and who's in League One here. 5 to go to the break. Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster 2.
That was a 7:30 kickoff, and so was this one at Holker Street. Matt Jones.
It is Barrow 0, Preston 0, but Barrow
Barrow are being penned back in their half of the field at the moment, although to their credit, most of the chances that Preston are coming from outside the box. McCann just eyed the bottom corner from 22 yards and curled just wide of the far post, and then Ockles wriggled into space outside the area and shot straight at Winterbottom. Barrow are trying their best to get the ball to Tyler Walker up front, but the passing to him has just been so poor either side all the time, and he's barely had a touch so far. Barrow 0, Preston 0.
Goal at Charlton, Ian Abrams.
Charlton 1, Stevenage 0. Both the Ashby Hammond brothers have now conceded because Tay Ashby Hammond has been beaten by Miles Leeburn. He gave the ball away, Stevenage, midway inside their own half. One pass into Miles Leeburn, right-hand side of the penalty area, and it was like winding back the clock, watching his old man thrash and pass goalkeepers. Miles Leeburn this time beating Ashby Hammond. Charlton 1, Stevenage 0.
Well, it's goalless here at Sixfields, but I think Northampton really should be in front. Ian Danter.
27 minutes gone, Northampton Town 0, Southampton 0, and yes, the Cobblers are having the better of it. They've certainly come closest to scoring. There was a corner from the right-hand side taken by Dean Campbell. Alex McCarthy looked like he got both hands on it. Suddenly he dropped it. It dropped for the other McCarthy out there, Conor McCarthy, the number 3 for Northampton. He just instinctively prodded the ball towards goal, and I think it was Damien Downs, the American striker, on the line who cleared it from in front of goal to keep Southampton level. Just before that, Cameron Archer had raced to the right-hand side of the Northampton penalty area. It looked like he'd taken it round Ross Fitzsimmons, but the goalkeeper just got a toe end of it to take it out for a corner, which came to nothing. But certainly Northampton are putting it about in this first half an hour, and Southampton look a wee bit disjointed, not helped by the fact that Ross Stewart went off after the warm-up ill, and Ben Brereton Diaz has had to start the game. He wasn't originally in the first 11. Northampton 0, Southampton 0.
What I love about Kevin Nolan is his passion. They're really on top, Northampton. They're playing really well. There was one loose pass down the left-hand side, and he threw his water bottle on the ground. He was so frustrated at a poor pass from one of his players.
Yeah, there's a graveyard of water bottles down there already. I can see 2 or 3 there down to our right-hand side, just next to his technical area. There's a little impromptu drinks break here on what's a very balmy night here in Northamptonshire. But Northampton, they're passing the ball around really well. Cameron McGeehan looks lively. He's also a problem at the back for Southampton, that Ronnie Edwards has got himself booked very early on for a foul on Tyrese Forner. It's just that final ball lacking a little bit of quality into the area, and they don't really have a target man as such to aim for, Northampton, in the penalty area. Southampton, well, I think they just need this couple of minutes whilst this drinks break is going on, just to re-evaluate where they are in this game at 0-0.
Yeah, well, they're very much second best, and Ronnie Edwards getting the booking he probably should have got at the weekend. Probably should have got a red at the weekend, but that's debatable. There you go. It is goalless here, Northampton on top. What's happening at the Hawthorns? talkSports, Jeff Peters.
It's still West Brom 0, Derby 0. West Brom starting like a train in this game. Several chances. Williams heading into the side netting on debut. Isaac Price denied by Vickers. And then a terrific free kick into the box, headed down by Campbell. Hegerber stretching, just couldn't get a touch. Any kind of touch that surely would have put the ball into the net. They've got a corner here. It's swung into the 6-yard box. Derby trying to get the ball away. West Brom have it over on the far side. Derby have taken a little bit of the sting out of the game after all those early exchanges, but they haven't threatened going forward. You certainly feel that if a team is likely to score here, it's going to be the home side. It's West Brom 0, Derby 0.
Got a bit of breaking news for you. There's been a special statement that's been issued by the PSG keeper, Gianluigi Donnarumma, and it's to the PSG fans, and it's a very heartfelt, emotional statement. If I say the first few sentences of it: to the special Paris fans, from the first day I arrived, I gave everything on and off the pitch to earn my place and defend the goal of Paris Saint-Germain. It carries on in that vein. It's really heartfelt to the fans and to his teammates as well. He says in the middle of it, unfortunately, someone has decided that I can no longer be part of the group and contribute to the team's success. I am disappointed and disheartened. Alex Cook, our chief football correspondent, has read the statement. It is heartfelt, it's emotional. It means Donnarumma is going. He's been linked with Man United. Is that going to happen?
Potentially. I think Manchester United need to get some money in terms of departures. First and foremost, the likes of Alejandro Garnacho wanted by Chelsea. Antony still wanted back in Spain with Real Betis. Then there's Jadon Sancho, who I was told today has interest from both Juventus and his old club, Borussia Dortmund, and Tyrell Malacia as well. But it's a big opportunity, isn't it, for someone in the Premier League? Donnarumma, for me, was the best goalkeeper in the world last season. This is an incredible breakdown in his relationship with PSG. We know they've signed a new number one. We know that he was left out of the squad for the Super Cup live on talkSport tomorrow, but I'm not quite sure how it's come to this when you think it was only a few weeks ago that he was helping PSG win the Champions League, the trophy they've craved above all others, for the first time, and he was brilliant in the semi-final second leg against Arsenal and at Villa Park when actually Villa looked like they might turn that tie around. There's been a suggestion that Chelsea are interested. That's been played down by my sources at Stamford Bridge, and maybe Manchester City want to keep an eye on as well, because obviously they've signed James Trafford as a long-term successor for Ederson, but the expectation was that Ederson would start the season. Maybe they'll see an opportunity to replace Ederson, who wasn't great last year, but as I say, probably the best goalkeeper in the world.
Very interesting. Alex, thanks very much. The heartfelt statement from Donnarumma finishes by saying playing for this club and living in this city has been an immense honour. Thank you, Paris. And he signs the statements. He's going to be leaving PSG, but where is he going? We'll have more on that as the days pass between now and the end of the transfer window. And of course, there's more on the website, talksport.com. Goal at Wrexham for Courtney Sweetman-Kirk and Adam Bridge.
Wrexham 1, Hull City 0, and it's Elliot Lee with his first League Cup goal since 2019. James McLean and Aaron James all involved in the build-up down this left-hand side. It really was an excellent set-up play. Lee's finish was deflected beyond Dylan Phillips in the Hull City goal, but Courtney, the build-up play for the goal was excellent.
Yeah, it was one of those, as you say, involving three. It's simple but effective, the up, back and through, and Wrexham are on the attack again at the moment.
They are Hardy at the edge of the penalty area, looking to get it across to Smith, but headed down by Egan.
But yeah, going back to that, in terms of McLean coming out wide, and there's just the up, back and through. It's a late run from Lee, and as you say, he gets a bit of fortune, but I think definitely this left-hand side for Wrexham has been a real problem for Hull City. The only thing I would say about Wrexham, on the other side with Longman, the balance doesn't feel right to me. He's sort of cheating as the wing-back, getting a bit too high, but he's not adding enough to the attack, and he's certainly not adding enough to the defence and helping O'Connell out, because that's where Hull City have sort of progressed. So I think as long as they get that balance right on the right-hand side with Longman, then Wrexham can go and progress and score another goal.
Yeah, McBurney looking dangerous for Hull, but they're behind here. Wrexham 1, Hull 0.
More goals going in. Wimbledon have taken the lead at Gillingham. That's League One leading away to League Two. Antoine Hackford, who 2 years ago was playing in the Premier League for Sheffield United but signed for Wimbledon in the summer, has got his first goal for his new club. Gillingham manager Gareth Ainsworth played in the Premier League for Wimbledon. He's unbeaten still as Gillingham manager. He's won 4, drawn 7, lost none so far, but he's losing this evening. Also in the Carabao Cup, Lincoln lead 1-0 at Harrogate. Jack Moylan with the goal. Cambridge United 1-0 up at Bristol Rovers. Louis Apre has got his second of the season, the summer signing, former Northampton striker, with the goal. And Accrington double their lead against the Posh. What a disastrous start to the season Peterborough United have had. Kelsey Mooney with the goal. Half-time at the Riverside for talkSports, Mark Wilson.
Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster Rovers 2. Doncaster by far the better team in this one, despite making 11 changes from the weekend. They deservedly took the lead on 11 minutes. Jordan Gibson, good work down the left. He pulled it back to Billy Sharp. He laid off to Ben Close. Close shot took a deflection but went in to give them a deserved lead. Borough almost hit back. Bergzorg cracked his shot against the post, and Whittaker was denied by a fine save from Ian Lawler. But then came the second goal, another Jordan Gibson cross from the left, fell to Damola Ajay, the Spurs loanee. He hit his shot goal, and it did hit Alfie Jones to take it past the keeper, but is accredited to Ajay. That was 2-0. Borough had their best spell right at the end of the first half, and it took another great Ian Lawler save, this time to deny Bergzorg. There were a few boos at half-time here because Borough have been by and large outplayed here. Plenty for Rob Edwards to do at half-time. It's Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster 2.
Goal in a 7:45 game at Fratton Park. Scott Minto and Alex Crook.
And the upset could be on the cards, Adrian, because it's Championship Portsmouth 0, League One Reading 1. And it's on Andre Garcia with the goal at the far post, turning home from point-blank range. It started down the right-hand side, a really powerful burst into the area by Kelvin Ebby Battenham. Good save by Ben Killip in the Portsmouth goal. Kamari Doyle had the opportunity to turn home on the follow-up. He couldn't take it, and eventually it came to Garcia at the far post, and Scott Minto, he simply could not miss.
Well, there's been nothing going on really in terms of clear-cut chances since we last talked about it, so fair play to Reading, because they started the game well. Portsmouth came back into it, but they do show as if they've got pace on the counter-attack, and that's exactly what happened. Fair play to Ben Killip. He made not one but two really good saves, but Andre Garcia in the right place at the right time to, in the end, just simply tap it home. Tell you what, This is going to be interesting. It's a game of not many chances, and if Reading get a second, I don't see Pompey coming back into this.
9 changes for the Royals, but so far, so good for Noel Hunt's side here at Fratton Park. The home fans are stunned. It's Portsmouth 0, Reading 1.
Reading have lost both their league games so far, but one up at Championship. Portsmouth, as you heard, another goal at Wrexham for Courtney Sweet McKirk and Adam Bridge.
Equaliser for the visitors. Wrexham 1, Hull City 1. All made and scored by Cody Drama down the right-hand side. He picked the ball up, intercepting a pass from inside his own half. Great run, found Gelhardt, continued into the box. Gelhardt fed him, and you have to say, Arthur Okonkwo, who is in goal today, in place, of course, of Danny Ward, who started at the weekend. He's had a mare, hasn't he, Courtney, as he let it into the bottom corner?
Yeah, he won't want to see that again, and it's after I said that actually down the left-hand side, Wrexham looked a little bit more secure, but a Drama, I think he does really well, just pounces on a bit of a loose one. He anticipates it, driving forward. The 1-2 with Gelhardt is lovely, and I think he's just trying to put it in the area. I'm not actually overly sure that Drama's trying to shoot there, but obviously it's one of those where it's a cross-come shot. As long as it's in the right area, you give yourself a chance, but you're right, Okonkwo, you certainly won't want to see that again. He gets a little bit of a hand to it, but should have been stronger. And now Hull are back on level terms.
Good game here, 37.5 minutes gone. Wrexham 1, Hull 1.
Another goal at the Valley as well, Ian Abrahams.
Charlton 2, Stevenage 0. It's 2 academy graduates who have combined here. Henry Ryland ball down the right-hand side, put it into the middle. Miles Leadbone with a dubby, and there on his full debut, Ibrahim Fuller only made a couple of appearances last year off the bench to put the ball home from 12 yards out. Fans love homegrown players. 3 of them involved here with the goals. It's Charlton 2, Stevenage 0.
7:30 half-time. Stockport 0, Crewe 0, Newport 0, Millwall 0. We know Doncaster are 2-0 up at Middlesbrough. What about half-time at Holker Street? Matt Jones.
Was here so far, Barrow 0, Preston 0, and probably a half that both teams will be reasonably happy with. Preston have had the best of it and the majority of the chances, but League 2 Barrow have also defended pretty well as well. Some of those chances that came Preston's way then, Devine had a shot pushed away by Winterbottom in the very early exchanges, and Thord Arson's had a couple of strikes from distance as well, but arguably the best chance of the match so far fell to Barrow in injury time in the first half. A lovely move down the left-hand side in front of me involving Mahoney and Smith. It was Mahoney who was eventually played in, and he just shot wide across goal and past the far post. So both teams still got plenty to play for as we return for the second half. It's Barrow 0, Preston 0.
Well, at Fratton Park, Scott Minto was just telling us next goal is crucial. Well, the next goal has gone in, but which way? Scott Minto and Alex Crook.
Well, it's the visiting fans on their feet once more. Portsmouth 0, Reading 2. He played a big hand in the opener, and now Kelvin Ebi-Bachanam has doubled Reading's lead. The ball was played into him just inside the penalty area. The first touch to leave the Pompey defender floored is absolutely brilliant from Ebi-Bachanam. He was strong, he was powerful, and then he fired low beyond Ben Killip in the Portsmouth goal into the bottom corner. Scott Minto, that is a cracking individual effort.
Absolutely brilliant strikers play that. He made sure he got the ball first, but flipped it over the central defender of Portsmouth, and then as another defender's coming down on him and a keeper's coming out, he has the composure to make sure that not only is he side-footed on target, but the keeper has no chance whatsoever. Talked about how Killip made a double good save despite not able to stop it for a third time for 1-0. And I did say the way that Pompey don't look as if they're particularly great going forward. Now, Reading have had 7 shots to 3 and 4 to 1 on target, so they have been the better side in the final third. The second goal would be crucial. Can Pompey somehow get back into it?
Well, they've made a habit, Pompey, of crashing out in the first round on quite a few occasions in recent seasons. Looks like it may well be happening again. Portsmouth of the Championship 0, League 1 Reading 2.
In fact, Pompey haven't got beyond round 3 since 2010. Southampton just missed a sitter here. Stays Northampton 0, Southampton 0. What's happening in our talkSPORT 2 commentary game at Hayes Lane? Kicked off at 8. Sam Allard.
Yeah, 25 minutes gone. Bromley of League 2 holding the championship out for Ipswich 0-0. 2 early chances. The first one fell to Bromley. Ipswich didn't clear a corner. Then Eiffel from the right-hand side delivered a dangerous ball into the box. There could be a chance here for Ipswich. They're through on goal. Can now Hamady score? He pulls it back to Clark, but it's a really, really good last-ditch block from Show Me. Al Hamady raced through on goal. He took it past the goalkeeper long. He kept his composure. He pulled it back to Clark, who got his shot away. But Show Me threw himself at the shot and managed to keep it out. But really, that's the only clear-cut chance Ipswich have had in this game. Bromley, who have never won a tie in the League Cup are giving it a really, really good effort here. And 26 minutes gone, it's still Bromley 0, Ipswich 0.
And that can be heard, full commentary live on talkSPORT 2 right now. Another goal in the 7 o'clock kickoff at the Swansea.com, and Swansea lead Crawley by 2-0 now. The former Scotland under-19 international Bobby Wales has got the second. Swansea 2, Crawley 0. We're around the grounds with all the goals as they go in the Carabao Cup first round tonight. 29 ties. You're listening to Kickoff on talkSPORT with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
Kickoff on talkSPORT with Ladbrokes. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
At this vet, Mia's the owner, surgeon, rota manager and puppy wrangler. And now she and her team are cybersecurity experts too.
Mia, someone tried accessing our system. Phishing scam. I blocked it.
BT Security Awareness Training turns your team into your first line of defense. Quick to set up from just £1.25 per user per month. Cybersecurity is everyone's business. Thankfully, not just Mia's. Search BT Business Cybersecurity. T&Cs apply. Prices exclude VAT at 20%. 12-month minimum term applies.
Did somebody say? Okay, I've got 20 quid, a dissertation to write, and only half a cucumber. Need some sustenance. Pizza it is. Triple pepperoni, of course. Plus something caffeinated. Plus a pen that works. Plus some eye drops. Did somebody say? Plus some divine intervention. Ooh, and another half a cucumber.
Now with Just Eat Plus, get everything you need. That's unlimited delivery for $5.99 for 90 days.
Did somebody say?
Just Eat? Participating stores, service fees and minimum spend apply.
The Suns Fantasy Football Game Dream Team is back, and we're kicking off with our big Game Week 1 prize draw. Just pick a team and you could win £5,000. With improved gameplay and free entry, it's all just sitting there like an open goal. But you've got to be in it to win it. Download the free-to-play Dream Team app today. T's and C's apply. 18+ only.
With a Travis Perkins trade account, you open the door to big trade deals every single month, right through August. Hire a petrol or 110-volt cement mixer tip-up for only £15 per week. Join the club and get this and other big trade deals this August with your trade account. Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. All prices exclude VAT at 20%.
Ginger Nut John. Quiet, Bob. What are we looking for again? The Casino Hawk. He scours the internet in search of only the leading and most reputable online casinos. Only UK GC licensed sites, mind. Casino Hawk, John. After him, he'll lead us straight to welcome bonuses, free spins and some of the most reputable casino sites in the UK. Follow that Casino Hawk. For online casino comparison reviews and unbiased recommendations, search Casino Hawks online. T's and C's apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Casino Hawks.
talkSPORT Breakfast in partnership with Arnold Clark. We guarantee the best used car deals in the UK. Move up through the gears every morning with top-of-the-range sports edition, ABS, story breaking news, and more goal talk to the gallon. Plus, a stellar lineup of super celebrity sports guests as standard. talkSPORT Breakfast every weekday morning from 6 on talkSPORT with Arnold Clark. We guarantee the best used car deals in the UK.
The weekday blues are over. Here comes the football.
talkSPORT, go ahead, ready to copy.
Increased pundit power.
Mark.
Turbocharged pre-match build-up.
Okay, mode 4.
Optimized, adrenaline-soaked commentary.
Roger.
Of over 100 Premier League games.
talkSPORT, you are go for game day.
The football has landed.
talkSPORT brings you a brand new season.
Game day exclusive on talkSPORT.
One spectacular pitch performance you can't hear anywhere else. Game day exclusive. Saturday morning from 11 on talkSPORT.
Well, tomorrow night live on talkSPORT, it's PSG against Tottenham in the Super Cup. We'll have our commentary team live in Udine for that. PSG Spurs kicks off at 8 our time. On talkSPORT 2, this commentary of the Carabao Cup first round tie. Huddersfield taking on Leicester. I'll be based at Birmingham against Sheffield United. 5 Carabao Cup first round ties tomorrow night. There are 29 tonight. There were 30. Tranmere against Burton postponed because of a power outage on the Wirral. We're heading up towards half-time. In fact, we're in 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half here at Sixfields, where somehow, Ian Danter, it's still goalless. Can't believe it.
Northampton 0, Southampton 0. We're in that second minute of 2 added on. And Northampton have just had two really good chances in the last couple of minutes. First, Dean Campbell made space for himself with a good trap about 25 yards out, let fly, and it was straight at Alex McCarthy. But then even better, a few seconds later, Cameron McGeehan popped it down the left-hand side, floated in a lovely cross, and Elliot List, one of the smaller men on the pitch, got up in between Southampton's centre-halves and glanced a header narrowly wide. At the other end, a massive chance for Southampton when Brereton Diaz got away down the left-hand side, pulled the ball back. Damien Downs fell over himself trying to get the ball in the back of the net, and then Fernandes tried to bundle it over the line, but there were enough defenders back to get it clear. So is somehow, as we approach half-time, Northampton 0, Southampton 0.
Goal at Home Park, Lawrence Mora.
Plymouth 0, QPR 2. Ryan Coley has headed this in from a corner on the right-hand side. He just got across his man. Nobody picked up his run, and he headed home from close range. 47 gone, Plymouth 0, QPR 2.
And the whistle has just gone for half-time here at Sixfields. Ian Danter.
Northampton Town 0, Southampton 0. Kevin Nolan will be very happy with the way that the Cobblers have gone about their business. You can hear the applause around us here in the main stand for the effort that the home side have put in. Southampton have looked rather disjointed at times. They have had chances to get a goal themselves, but really Northampton have looked the more dangerous going forward, and they appear to be first to mow things in midfield. They had a chance very, very early on with Cameron McGeehan hitting a left-footed shot from just over 20 yards out that was well saved by Alex McCarthy in the Southampton goal. And then Jordan Willis had an instinctive product goal after a corner was cleared off the line. Alex McCarthy flapped at the corner, it dropped for Willis, he prodded it goalwards, and I think it was Damien Downs who cleared it off the goal line to keep Southampton level. And then there was that chance 5 minutes from half-time where Brereton Diaz, who started the game, he wasn't meant to, but Ross Stewart went out after the warm-up feeling poorly. Brereton Diaz pulled the ball out from the left-hand side, and somehow Damien Downs on debut fell over the ball trying to convert it. Matthias Fernandes couldn't follow it up, and somehow Northampton smuggled it clear before those late chances for Campbell and also from Elliot List went close. But somehow, at the break, it is Northampton Town 0, Southampton 0.
Terrific entertainment, but no goals as yet. And one or two problems for Will still to sort out at half-time. The Southampton manager. Goal at Ewood Park, John Dunn.
It is Blackburn 1, Bradford 2. Bradford led early, but in injury time at the end of the first half, a first Blackburn goal for Lewis Miller, a summer signing. Long throw from the right, it's gone all the way through on the corner of the 6-yard area. Miller's caught it sweetly, back across goal, into the corner. A lifeline, Blackburn 1, Bradford 2.
Now, Crawley have pulled one back at Swansea in the 7 o'clock kickoff, well into the second half there. Kabi Shamanga has pulled one back. Swansea 2, Crawley 1. Half-time at the CBS Arena on talkSPORT for Dave Rowe.
Coventry 0, Luton 0. Coventry extremely ponderous, yet to score a goal so far this season, and really it's League One Luton who should be ahead here. They had a terrific spell midway through the half when they made 3 good chances. Corley Woodrow putting a free header wide from a Walsh corner, then Woodrow stung the palms of Ben Wilson with a fine strike from outside the area. The ball was recycled and Woodrow played in Leslie Nordas, who didn't get full connection to a shot and stabbed it wide as a result. A quiet first half from Coventry. Ellis Sims off target with their only 2 real efforts. The first from really good set-up wing play from Raphael, but Frank Lampard will demand far much more from his side after the break. It's Coventry 0, Luton 0.
Half-time in the Hawthorns as well. Here's talkSPORT's Jeff Peters.
Same here, West Brom 0, Derby 0. The Baggies have dominated this, but somehow still level. Nearly a dream debut, though, for 20-year-old Alex Williams. Free header at the far post from a corner. Could only find the side netting. Isaac Price, who got the winner here against Blackburn at the weekend, did hit the target. Teed up by Tom Fellows. Tight angle for Price, but still forced Josh Vickers into a fine save. He also went close on the stroke of half-time. Orna Hegerber inches away from his first goal for the club. Full stretch, diving in. Just couldn't get on the end of Campbell's cushion header. 9 changes for Derby from the weekend, and they've looked disjointed, as you'd expect. They've offered nothing going forward. West Brom 0, Derby 0.
Cardiff got a second against Swindon. Ruben Colwell, his second of the season, the Welsh international. Cardiff 2, Swindon 0. Half-time at Wrexham for Courtney Sweetman-Kirk and Adam Bridge.
Yeah, Wrexham won, Hull won an opening half an hour that was just about in Hull's favour, but it was Wrexham who took the lead on 31 minutes. Elliot Lee with his first League Cup goal in 6 years. Good work down the left-hand side between McLean and James and Lee. Almost made a kind of 3-on-2, and they found Lee, or McLean found Lee, inside the penalty area. He cut inside nicely and hit a shot that took a wicked deflection before flying over the top of Dylan Dylan Phillips in the Hull City goal. The lead only lasted 6 minutes or so, though. Cody Drama picking up a loose ball inside his own half. He drove forward and found Joe Gelhardt. He laid it onto Drama in the penalty area. And initially we thought Drama had got the finish after some poor keeping from Okonkwo, but it looks like Ollie McBurney may have got a toe poke on it to deflect it home and open his account for Hull City as well. So 1-1 at half-time. Feels like a fair reflection, Courtney.
Yeah, I think it does. I think just towards the end of the half, I think Hull City started to dominate a little bit more after they got that goal, and you can see that in some of the possession and the statistics, and actually I think you felt it in the ground as well in terms of around us. It was a bit hush, there wasn't a lot of noise, and the only noise was sort of moans and groans in the end. So I think Hull City certainly finished the better side of the half, but I think it's been very equal so far, and Hardy's been good for me actually for Wrexham. He's ran the channels really well. That pace that he's got has caused issues to the back line. It's just the service into him needs to be a little bit better in the second half.
Well, we said when these two meet in this competition there are goals. We've had 2 so far, hopefully more to come. Half-time, Wrexham 1, Hull 1.
And half-time at Home Park, talkSports, Lawrence Mora.
Where it is Plymouth 0, QPR 2, completely against the run of play. But if you can't defend and you don't score, this is what happens to you. First goal on 21 minutes. Aussie Daniel Benny's first of the season, tapping home from close range after a free header by Burrell was saved by Ashby Hammond. Then in added on time, another youngster, Ryan Colley, was allowed a free run from a corner and he headed home. Awful defending. At the other end, Jamie Patterson's seen a penalty save. Joe Hatch, Tegan Finn and Patterson all gone close. Plymouth, 16 shots, 74% possession. But at the break, incredibly, it's Plymouth 0, QPR 2.
Amazing stats, those at half-time. Whistle's gone to Fratton Park, Scott Minto and Alex Crook.
And it's Championship Portsmouth 0, League One Reading 2, but no complaints really for the home side. The Royals have been the better side and are deserving of their half-time advantage. 17-year-old Andre Garcia, with his first ever senior goal, broke the deadlock in the 34th minute. It came after Kelvin Batchaman had seen his initial effort saved by Ben Killip. Kamari Doyle probably should have put in the rebound. In the end, it was put in at the far post by Garcia, and just 4 minutes later, it was Batchaman himself who doubled Reading's advantage. A great piece of skill on the edge of the area, flicking the ball over the head of a Pompey defender and then out muscling another before firing low beyond Killip into the bottom right-hand corner. Pompey could have scored and probably should have scored early on. Mark Koznovsky's header from close range, saved by Jack Stevens, sparked an almighty goalmouth scramble, but the South Coast outfit couldn't find the back of the net, and ultimately, Scott, they were made to pay for that.
Well, it's been a perfect first half, hasn't it, for Noel Hunt? In this game that's really Pompey reserves against Reading reserves, 10 changes and 9 changes, and fair play to Noel Hunt. He's kept the 2 centre-halves in. I think that's given that solidity. There's that one chance that Pompey have had. But yeah, going forward, I think Reading have been the better side. I think it's one of those, if you look at the stats, yeah, okay, Portsmouth have had the higher with the possession, but total shots and shots on target have come from Reading, and they have looked the most dangerous in Hebetchaman. I mean, they have got the guy who's made the difference here, made an assist or went down the right-hand side to get that first save from Killip, and then, of course, the second one as well. And I did question whether Pompey could come back if they were to concede the second, and they haven't really shown too much, have they, since that second goal? So the changes, options off the bench, and we'll have to wait and see whether John Mousinho does make changes or not, but at the moment it's all Reading.
Mousinho made 10 changes from the side that beat Oxford in Pompey's Championship opener at the weekend. Colby Bishop, who usually leads the line, not even among the subs. Portsmouth 0, Reading 2.
A goal in the 7:30 kick-off at Edgeley Park. Stockport 1, Crewe Alexandra 0. 4 minutes after the restart, Kyle Wootton for Dave Challoner's side. That's Wootton's 3rd goal of the season already. Half-time at Ewood Park, talkSports, John Dunn.
Blackburn 1, Bradford 2, League One beating the Championship here as well. A mixed night for some debutants. Bradford in front 90 seconds in, a cross from the right from Jensen Metcalf, making his first Bantams appearance. Picked out an unmarked Ibo Toure, left of the penalty area. He hit a stunning volley into the top right corner. 3 minutes later, it was 18-year-old goalkeeper Nicholas Mikalski making his Blackburn debut. Received a pass last 25 yards from his goal, he was closed down and dispossessed by Will Swan, and on his first Bradford start, Swan placed the ball into an empty net. Rovers eventually perked up. Mark Targay twice denied by goalkeeper Sam Walker when he was sent clear by Axel Henriksen. Tyjon and Deneve also had shots wide. Michalowski made a good save to make up for his early error, and then right in injury time, Lewis Miller signed in the summer from Hibs from a long throw from the right. He came through to him. Miller, corner of the 6-yard area, and left-footed volley back into the bottom right corner. Bandaged up, 5 stitches at the weekend, but a goal scorer tonight. A shot though still on the cards. Blackburn 1, Bradford 2.
Half-time at the Valley, home side in control. Ian Abrahams.
Certainly are. Charlton 2, Stevenage 0, and it's largely the homegrown players who've shone here. Miles Leeburn fired the Addicts ahead on 27 minutes. The ball given away by Stevenage midway inside their own half. One pass to Leeburn inside the penalty area. One-on-one with Ashby Hammond. He scored with aplomb. And then on 36 minutes, a goal that really did have the Addicts faithful on their feet. Henry Ryer's ball in from the right-hand side, an academy product. It was dummied by Leeburn, and Ibrahim Fuller, on only his second start for Charlton, scored his first goal for the club from 12 yards out. Charlton 2, Stevenage 0, the Addicts in control at the break.
Stockport have scored again. That's 2 quick goals at the start of the second half of a 7:30 kickoff. Stockport 2, Crewe 0. Nathan Lowe on loan from Stockport. He's on loan from Stoke. He was on loan at Walsall, scored loads of goals for them in the first half of last season. And Stoke are meeting Walsall at the Bet365 half-time. Mickey Gray.
Yeah, it's finished here at half-time. Stoke 0, Walsall. And then after a bright start from Stoke, when they caused problems with Jamie Donnelly with a left-foot shot from the edge of the 18-yard, which was the only shot on target in the first 45. And it has been all Walsall, direct football, getting Adoma and Gordon involved in the game as much as they possibly can. Gordon come close on 2 occasions. His first shot on 10 minutes was blocked on the edge of the 18-yard area, but then on 20 minutes he had a chance. It was a tight angle and he hit the side net and played in again by Albert Adoma. The 2 centre forwards causing Stoke a lot of problems at the back. They need to do more up front though, Stoke City. They've been a little bit shot shy up front. Stoke City 0, Walsall 0.
Those 2 goals for Stockport, the league Crew 2-0, both assists from Owen Dodgson at the start of the second half. Let's get the latest from the 8 o'clock kickoff. Still in the first half at Hayes Lane. Sam Ellards.
Yeah, just 2 minutes to go until half-time. Still Bromley 0, Ipswich 0, but Ipswich have just had their best moment. Jack Clark, who's looked Ipswich's best player, came in from the left-hand side, found plenty of space, played it out to Lee Davis, who made an overlap down the left-hand side, pulled a really good, dangerous ball back across goal, and Chaplin was there. He had space, he had time. His first shot effort went over the bar, but Bromley of League 2, as we approach half-time, doing a really, really good job of frustrating Ipswich. There's live commentary on talkSport 2. 2 minutes to go until half-time. It's still Bromley 0, Ipswich 0.
You're listening to Kick-Off on talkSport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org. Let me run you through the scores then. Carabao Cup first rounds, and they're into the last 5 minutes. It's Swansea 2, Crawley 1 in a 7 o'clock kickoff. Crawley, though, down to 10 men. Gavin Houlihan has just received a straight red. Swansea 2, 10-man Crawley 1. Barrow 0, Preston 0 is into the second half. Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster 2 also into the second half. Newport 0, Millwall 0 was a 7:30 kickoff. And Stockport leading Crewe 2-0. That was also a 7:30 kickoff. Now, these are half-times. Accrington 2, Peterborough 0. Blackburn 1, Bradford 2. Blackpool 0, Port Vale 0. Bristol City 1, MK Dons 0. Bristol Rovers 0, Cambridge United 1. Cardiff 2, Swindon 0. Charlton 2, Stevenage 0. Chesterfield 0, Mansfield 1. Coventry 0, Luton 0. Gillingham 0, AFC Wimbledon 1. Grimsby 1, Shrewsbury 0. Harrogate 0, Lincoln 1. Orient 0, Wickham 0. Northampton 0, Southampton 0. Oxford 1, Colchester 0. Plymouth 0, QPR 2. Portsmouth 0, Reading 2. Salford 0, Rotherham 0. Stoke 0, Walsall 0. Tranmere Burton was postponed. Watford 0, Norwich 2. West Brom 0, Derby 0. Wigan 1, Notts County 0. Wrexham 1, Hull City 1. And there's been a goal back at Bromley. Sam Ellards.
How about this, Adrian? Bromley of League 2 lead Ipswich by a goal to 0, and they score right on the stroke of half-time. A corner comes in, an in-swinger whipped in from the right-hand side. The Ipswich goalkeeper, Walton, tries to come and collect. He doesn't get anywhere near it. Show Me wins the original header, and then he goes back across goal, and it's El Aroue who heads into an empty net. And Bromley, who have never ever won a game in this competition, right on the stroke of half-time, lead Ipswich by a goal to 0.
Well, it was Ipswich who got done by Wimbledon in last season's Carabao Cup, and now they are losing at Bromley live on talkSport 2.
Effervescing football for the average enthusiast. Kick off! Kick off on talkSport with Ladbrokes. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Just drop me off around the corner. It's a phrase no parent wants to hear, especially when it's about your car. So upgrade to a new 75-plate electric model they'll love to be seen in at the BYD Back to School sales event. From the 15th to the 25th of August, enjoy up to £1,100 off selected BYD models, plus up to 5 years free servicing. Visit your local BYD retailer and make the school run electric. T's and C's apply.
Vodafone's new customer service is a little bit different. It's called Just Ask Once. Message them on the Vodafone app. You deal with one person and they keep you updated until it's sorted, so you can get on with your day. Walkies it is then. Just Ask Once. Customer service made easy from Vodafone, the nation's network.
Available via your My Vodafone app. Messaging service only. Exclusions apply. Vodafone UK, supporting the nation since 1984. More details, vodafone.co.uk/network.
Play the opening game of Final One Standing by William Hill for your chance to win a share of a £500,000 jackpot. It's free to play. Simply join the opening league before 12:30 on Saturday 16th of August and pick a team to win in the opening round. Then pick a team to win each week. You can only pick each team once, and if you're the final one standing, then the jackpot is yours. Final One Standing by William Hill. Football's ultimate elimination game. 18+ online. Runs from 28th of July 2025. Price split if all players lose in the same round. Paid in 48 hours. T's and C's apply. Play responsibly.
The Sun's fantasy football game Dream Team is back, and with total cash prizes worth over £100,000, improved gameplay and free entry, it's worth a little extra prep. Dream Team, it's a total no-brainer, but you've got to be in it to win it. Download the free-to-play Dream Team app today. T's and C's apply. 18+ only.
Turn on NordVPN. It will help you avoid digital threats and will encrypt your online traffic too. Visit nordvpn.com now. NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day.
Join Midnight Casino and discover a whole new world! With hot slots, jackpots, live casino roulette, and blackjack at the ready. Come and play your way. Get 100 free spins when you spend £20 on eligible games. Search Midnight Casino or download the Midnight app today. Midnight. Casino done better. You decide. New customers only. Reward restrictions and T&Cs apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Strap yourself in on 1089 and 1053 medium wave on your mobile and on your smart TV.
He hits it first time. What a volley, what a goal!
Straightforward, straight talking, and straight to the point.
This is turning into a very dramatic evening.
Kick off with Adrian Durham on talkSport.
Well, a reminder that earlier Rangers lost 2-1 in the Czech Republic away to Victoria Pilsen, but it was enough to see them go through 4-2 on aggregate. Lyle Cameron with the goal for Rangers on the night. Elsewhere in the Champions League, Pafos made it through against Dynamo Kiev. There's only 18 miles between Copenhagen and Malmo, even though they're in different countries. Copenhagen going through 5-0 on the night, 5-0 on aggregate. John Duran scored for Fenerbahce. They've knocked out Feyenoord, and Karabag are through as well. Half-time in the Carabao Cup at Bromley. Sam Ellards.
Yeah, Bromley of League Two are leading Ipswich of the Championship by a goal to nil. As you would imagine, it's Ipswich who dominated possession in that first half. They had their best chance just before the break. Jack Clark, playing in Leif Davis down the left-hand side, pulled a really good ball back across into the box. Chaplin arriving, his shot went over, and then Bromley scored just before the break. A high corner into the box. The keeper came to try and collect, but Show Me wins their header, and El Araoui heads home into an empty net. Ipswich have lost to League Two sides in 3 of the last 4 seasons in this competition, and as things stand, it's happening again this evening. Second half commentary is on talkSport 2 with Darren Ambrose and Jim Proudfoot. At half-time, Bromley 1, Ipswich 0.
Well, second half only just underway here at Northampton, and the deadlock has been broken. Ian Danter.
Northampton 10-0, Southampton 1, and it was Matias Fernandez who fired the ball into the roof of the net. Good strong run down the right initially by Cameron Archer, fed the ball in field to Fernandez, who dumped a Northampton defender onto the seat of his pants with a dummy before taking aim with his left and burying it past Fitzsimmons into the roof of that net, away to our right in front of the 1,500 Southampton fans, loving that after what was a lacklustre first half. Will Still's side hit the front. Northampton 0, Southampton 1.
It's almost like Will Still got him in the dressing room at half-time and said, what the hell was that all about? Go out there and show them how good you are, and Southampton have done just that.
And here they come again with Bren Brereton Diaz at the edge of the D, trying to bend it round into the bottom corner. He's won a corner, in actual fact. It took a little nick off Max Deitch to go behind. But yes, the first 2 minutes of that second half, the pace of Archer down the right-hand side. Fernandes with a lovely bit of skill to deceive the defender, and a Premier League quality finish from all of that. But yes, I'm quite sure they had a bit of a dressing down from their 32-year-old manager before they came back out. There was somebody connected with Southampton who I saw at half-time who apologised to me for that first half.
Mateus Fernandes, by the way, they turned down 30 million for him today.
Oh, and just a strike off the post from Yuki Sugawara. Corner came out to Sugawara about 30 yards out. He let fly. Keeper stood stock still, and the ball thundered off the midway point of the post to our left-hand side and came back out into play. Could so easily have been 2-0 to Southampton.
Incredible effort that. Kevin Nolan is just, it's almost like he needs a sofa to hide behind, because Southampton are absolutely tearing Northampton apart at the start of this second half. Saints leading 1-0. Fernandes with the goal. I was saying they turned down 30 million for him today. They want 50 million plus. And he's probably just shown a little bit of the reason why they want that much for him.
The touch to, I mean, the defenders had to buy a hot dog to get himself back into the stadium. It was a lovely bit of skill, just a drop of the shoulder. Very simple, but nevertheless so effective from Fernandes. What you have to say is that there are so many Premier League quality players still within this Southampton squad. So, you know, they should be having very few problems against a League One outfit. But Northampton had the number on them in the first half, but there you go, 2 minutes gone, and Southampton hit the front in the second.
Yeah, Southampton lead 1-0. They've hit the post as well at the start of this second half. Goal at home park, Lawrence Mora.
Home side are back in it. It's Plymouth 1, QPR 2. Brendan Wiradu has headed home from close range after a corner on the right-hand side, was headed back across goal. He was the quickest to react in the 6-yard box to head home. Plymouth 1, QPR 2.
There you go, goals as they go in, and we've got other goals in the 7:30 kickoff at Rodney Parade. Newport 0, Millwall 1. Ryan Leonard opens the scoring on the hour mark, and in the game that's just about to finish, Swansea now lead 3-1. They're going through. Ethan Galbraith on 94, Swansea 3, 10-man Crawley 1, still playing there, and it's 7:30 kickoff at the Riverside. What's happening in the second half there, Mark Wilson?
It's Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster 2 goals from Close and Ajayi, having Doncaster in front of the break, but Borough have been much better second half, and they needed to be as well. And if Doncaster do prevail, it'll be on the back of the efforts of their goalkeeper Ian Lawler. Made 2 fine saves in the first half, and he's made 2 more in the second. First after Conway played in Britain, who smashed a shot, Lawler beat it away, and then Whittaker played in Bergzog, edge of the area. Bergzog just rolled it into the path of Whittaker, 15 yards out, and somehow Lawler spread himself almost Schmeichel-like to keep the ball out of the back of the net. There have been a few chances on the break for Doncaster. Both sides have made 3 changes. Rob Edwards throwing on Morris, Fry and Hackney having just come on. Lovely bit of skill in the box, round about the penalty spot area, got a shot away, got blocked, and the follow-up was blasted over by the youngster Law McKay. Borough's still in it, but running out of time. Just a quarter of the game left. It's Borough 0, Doncaster 2.
All right, let's get the latest at Holker Street. This one kicked off at 7:30 as well. Matt Jones.
Midway through the second half, and it is still Barrow 0, Preston 0, though it's been an entertaining and end-to-end second half. Chances at both ends, and in fact there's a goal here, and it's an absolute calamity from Barrow. Preston take the lead with an own goal, a ball chipped in towards the 18-yard line, and it's headed back into the Barrow net by their own captain Niall Canavan. Ben Winterbottom completely wrong-footed in the Barrow goal, absolutely nothing he could do about it, and he's walking back towards his 18-yard box now, gesticulating after having words with his teammates. But Preston, they've had a couple of chances before that. The best of them have probably fell to Barrow. Mahoney with an audacious effort that went onto the roof of the net, and another that was well saved, but they now find themselves with work to do. Horrendous own goal from Niall Canavan. It's Barrow 0, Preston 1.
Off on talkSport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
Kick off on talkSport with Ladbrokes. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
Join EE, the UK's fastest growing broadband provider today.
Why so many people joining?
For starters, you get up to £300 to leave your current contract.
So I can leave now with 7 months left.
Exactly. It's also got Wi-Fi control, so the kids aren't glued to their devices all day.
Right. I need some of this.
Well, then join the broadband switchers choosing EE.
Verify at ee.co.uk/claims. Up to £300 credited to your EE account. New customers, 50% availability, 24 months, terms apply.
This season with the Premier League, UEFA Champions League, Europa and Conference League, Emirates FA Cup and Adobe Women's FA Cup all in one place. TNT Sports is not normal. Winning the final 5-0, not normal.
It's history for Paris Saint-Germain.
From relegation threats to Thursday nights is not normal.
A magnificent 7 for Nottingham Forest.
And as for Plymouth dumping Liverpool at the FA Cup.
Simply sensational.
All these competitions in one place? Not normal. TNT Sports.
Play the opening game of Final One Standing by William Hill for your chance to win a share of a £500,000 jackpot. It's free to play. Simply join the opening league before 12:30 on Saturday 16th of August and pick a team to win in the opening round. Then pick a team to win each week. You can only pick each team once, and if you're the final one standing, then the jackpot is yours. Final One Standing by William Hill. Football's ultimate elimination game. 18 plus online. Runs from 28th of July 2025. Price split if all players lose in the same round. Paid in 48 hours. T's and C's apply. Play responsibly.
The Sun's fantasy football game Dream Team is back to turn friends into rivals. With a top prize of £60,000, improved gameplay and completely free entry, it's an absolute sitter. But you've got to be in it to win it. Download the free-to-play Dream Team app today. T's and C's apply. 18 plus only.
With a Travis Perkins trade account, you open the door to big trade deals every single month, right through August. Get Ibstock Glenfield 65mm red stock facing brick for just £600 per thousand. Join the club and get this and other big trade deals this August with your trade account. Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. All prices exclude VAT at 20%.
Kick off on talkSport with Ladbrokes. 18plusgambleaware.org.
Saturday afternoon, the Premier League live on talkSport.
Oh my word!
Aston Villa versus Newcastle.
A magnificent goal!
Coverage from 11, kick-off 12:30.
I don't believe it!
Essential ear grab technology.
Saturday afternoon on talkSport.
We've got another cup goal. It's another one at Plymouth, Lawrence Mora.
Yeah, Plymouth 2, QPR 0. They've turned it around, and it's Owen Orsini who has got it, and from an incredible angle as well. Brilliant play, wide on the left-hand side, by Ben Arous. He's whipped the ball to the back post. It looks to be going out for a goal kick, but somehow Orsini has twisted in the air and left-footed, which is probably the wrong foot to go at it with, has bundled it into the back of the net. 54 on the clock. They were 2 down at half-time. It's now Plymouth 2, QPR 2.
All square there. Plymouth back on level terms. Grimsby have got a second against Shrewsbury. Cameron Gardner, the teenage Geordie, with the second goal. Grimsby 2, Shrewsbury Town 0. Shrewsbury yet to score this season under Michael Appleton. I told you Cardiff were 2 up against Swindon. I've just seen Ruben Colwell's free kick. Absolute stunner, and not his first stunner of the season as well. Cardiff 2, Swindon 0. Saints still leading here at Sixfields. Ian Danter.
56 minutes played. Northampton 0, Southampton 1. Matis Fernandez with a lovely goal to put the Saints in front after what had been a poor first half. Northampton just swinging a free kick into the Southampton box, but the referee has spotted a push on a Southampton player. Fernandez got himself involved with Cameron McGeehan a couple of moments ago and got pushed to the floor by the Northampton number 8, who was subsequently booked by the referee David Rock. So it's now down to Kevin Nolan to see what he can do from the bench, and he's not got as many substitutes to call on. He has brought on 2 at half-time, including Ethan Wheatley, who's on loan from Manchester United. Had a short loan spell at Walsall last season but didn't score whilst he was at the Bescott. He's on, and so too in midfield is let me see who else has come on. Jack Burrows has come on as well. He's come on for Conor McCarthy. So a double change. Let's see if he can bear fruit for Northampton. Northampton 0, Southampton 1.
And Cameron Archer, key in the goal for Southampton, was at the his debut for Aston Villa, and he got a hat-trick of Barrow in the Carabao Cup first round. He was sensational, and he's kind of gone to Middlesbrough and then come here, and you wonder where his career is going. And you think he's probably got that top-level talent, but needs to show it on a regular basis.
Well, at least he's getting consistent football. You know, that he needs a manager that believes in him, and certainly with the system that Will Still is trying to employ here, whether you think it's a 3-4-3 or a 3-4-2-1, then he can certainly play as one of the two behind the one. Obviously, they've had to make a change late tonight because Ross Stewart was meant to be the starting centre-forward, but he pulled out ill after the warm-up, so Brereton Diaz took his place. But Archer's the perfect foil for a front man, you would think, if he gets his consistent football. His pace down the right-hand side set up that goal.
Absolutely right. He was instrumental in it. Southampton lead 1-0. There's a goal at the CBS. Dave Rowe.
Coventry 1, Luton 0. Ellis Sims scoring his first goal since mid-February, created by Raphael. Good play down the right-hand side, going in between two challengers. Ball across for Hadji Wright, who sent it across towards the far post, and Sims poked it in. Coventry have raised their game in the second half, and Sims puts them in front. Coventry 1, Luton 0.
Yeah, their best ever showing, Coventry, in the League Cup. 1990, a semi-final. They lost to Forest, who went on to win the Cup. Frank Lampard, though, twice a winner of the League Cup with Chelsea. Coventry leading Luton 1-0. What's going on at the Hawthorns? talkSports' Jeff Peters.
Still West Brom 0, Derby 0, and it's still West Brom having the better of the possession, the opportunities and the chances. Price and Williams went close in the first half. Callum Styles has tried his luck from 20 yards early in the second half. A low volley, hit it pretty well, may have taken a deflection on the way. Vickers, full stretch, was able to collect the ball. Derby have got themselves a throw-in a dangerous position, which is lobbed into the box. They haven't tested Joe Wildsmith at all in this game, and if Derby are to score it, they've really got to push into those attacking areas, which thus far in the game they haven't done. It's West Brom 0, Derby 0.
talkSport taking you to the racecourse. Courtney Sweetman, Kirk and Adam Bridge.
Wrexham 1, Hull 1, could be about to become Hull 2, but Casey Palmer's shot is easily saved that time by Okonkwo. And the atmosphere here has really picked up at the start of this second half, and probably to do with the start that Wrexham made. Courtney said in the first half she wanted to see more from Ryan Longman, who he delivered immediately a great ball into the box that Ryan Hardy should have done better with. He was on his own for a free header at the back post, but tamely nodded it down and wide. And then we saw a long ball forward from O'Connell that found Sam Smith. He nodded the ball into the box again. Hardy in a good position, left-hand side of the 6-yard area, but the shot was easily saved by Dylan Phillips. Up the other end, Casey Palmer becoming more influential in the game. A good combination with Ollie McBurney outside of the right boot from the edge of the box, forced a good save from Okonkwo. But Courtney, it's been a lively start to this second half, and Wrexham, for a side newly promoted, have kind of bossed the early stages.
Yeah, they haven't, and as you mentioned, I think that ball from Longman was absolutely sublime at the start of the second half. Hardy certainly should have done better. It's one of them where he needs to get full contact with the forehead and back across where it's come from, but for some unknown reason, I don't know whether he's confused as to where his position is, but he tries to glance it when he's almost at the back post anyway, so should have done a lot better with that. But yeah, I've been really impressed with the reaction from Wrexham. Sort of the back end of the first half, there was a bit of a lull both on the pitch and in the crowd, but certainly everyone's getting behind them now because they look a lot better in this second half.
We've almost had an hour. It's Wrexham 1, Hull City 1.
Chesterfield 0, Mansfield 2. Stags get a second. Will Evans with the goal on 59, the former Newport striker. Reading have gone, we know Reading are 2-0 up at Portsmouth. We'll go there in a moment. Kelvin Ehebasham got the second for them. His brother, Prince Will Ehebasham, has scored for Swindon tonight. Cardiff 2, Swindon Town 1. Let's go to Fratton Park. Latest there with Scott Minto and Alex Crook.
And it's still Portsmouth 0, Reading 2, as it was at half-time. Pompey have seen plenty of the ball since the restart without ever really looking like getting on the score sheet. Been very comfortable for Reading. I mentioned it in the first half. In fact, I mentioned it when the teams came out, Scott Minto, that Yang-Min Hyuk, on loan from Tottenham, impressed me when he came off the bench against Oxford in the Championship of the weekend, but he's had a difficult night tonight, hasn't he? He's been forced off the ball too easily for me.
Yeah, do you know what? He looks lively, he looks skillful, but I'm not quite sure the physicality sort of suits him. And yeah, both him on one side and Terry Devlin, he's putting some great balls, by the way, but I just think when nothing much is happening and not too many changes, Andre Zell came on at half-time for John Swift. Why not just switch the wingers around? Ask questions of the fullbacks. So instead of being a typical normal winger, you're coming up against an inverted winger. Just ask different questions. At the moment, the fullbacks, the Reading defence, very much in control at the moment. One thing I would say is I was at Southampton at the weekend, and Wrexham were superb in the first half, created lots of chances despite not having 50% of the possession. Second half, they kind of just sat back in. had one clear chance, but that was it, and obviously we know what happened at the end. Not suggesting that Portsmouth can do that, and they do have that 2-goal lead, but I think they need to just add a little bit more going forward like they did in the first half, and they should be able to see this game out.
Got to whisper the word Southampton in these parts.
Sorry, yes. I've just had some looks now.
Portsmouth 0, Reading 2.
You're a big guy, you can look after me.
Can go 2-0 up at Harrogate. Freddie Draper, the 21-year-old, with the second. Harrogate 0, Lincoln City 2. Lincoln have won one, lost one so far in their League One season. Bristol City have doubled their lead against MK Dons. The Japan international Yu Hirokawa has got it. Bristol City 2, MK Dons 0. What's happening at Ewood Park? talkSports, John Dunn.
As it was at half-time, Blackburn 1, Bradford 2 are closing in on the hour mark. Bradford of League One with 2 up with inside 4 minutes. Blackburn put one back just before half-time. Second half hasn't really found any rhythm yet. Bradford do look bright when they go forward. Blackburn, as they try and threaten, but the passing has been loose. They're giving the ball away, which is really frustrating the home crowd. We're having a plethora of substitutions. The only bright spark for Blackburn as they look for their equaliser, 17-year-old Igor Tyjon, heavily linked with Arsenal, very highly rated. Lovely turn, 25 yards out, managed to get the shot away. That was deflected just wide, but it's the only effort on target we've had so far in the second half. Blackburn 1, Bradford 2.
To the Valley, latest there with talkSports, Ian Abrams.
Hour gone, Charlton 2, Stevenage 0. First half goals from Miles Neburn and Ibrahim Fuller, very much the academy doing its job here at the Valley. Second half, the energy and effervescence of the youngsters is still showing through. Stevenage really finding it hard to lay a glove on the home team. They've just made a quadruple change, Alex Ravel, but interesting to see if his team can get back in this one. Charlton 2, Stevenage 0.
A 7:30 kick-off at Edgeley Park. Stockport are going through there 3-0 up against Crewe. Alexandra Lewis Fiorini, who's actually good mates with Cole Palmer, has got the thirds for Stockport tonight. Stockport 3, Crewe Alexandra 0. Crewe terrible in the Carabao Cup. They've not got past round 2 of the competition since 2008. Let's go to the Bet365 on talkSport. Mickey Gray.
Yeah, just over the hour mark. Stoke City 0, Walsall 0. Not a great game, I have to be honest with you. There was one big opportunity in the second half, and it did fall to Jamie Donnelly on the edge of the 18-yard area. The ball was bouncing, but he kind of pivoted with a left-foot volley, and it looped over the top of Hornby in that Walsall goal and just clattered off the top of the crossbar. But as for chances, we've not really had too much in the game. A lot of possession for Stoke City, but Walsall are asking questions. The two players up front, Adoma and Gordon, who I keep mentioning, they're causing a lot of problems, but haven't really got the quality at the end of their moves that they're breaking down the left-hand side as I speak at the moment, but ball just not coming into the box. It's just a little bit too slow from both sides. Stoke City 0, Walsall 0.
Carabao Cup first round latest, and the first side through to round 2 is Swansea. They've beaten Crawley 3-1. That is a full-time score from a 7 o'clock kick-off. Swansea 3, Crawley 1 is full-time. Latest scores: Barrow 0, Preston 1, Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster 2, Newport 0, Millwall 1, and Stockport 3, Crewe 0. They were all 7:30 kick-offs. These are 7:45 kick-offs. Accrington 2, Peterborough 0, Bradford 2-1 up at Blackburn, Blackpool goalless with Port Vale, Bristol City 2, MK Dons 0, Bristol Rovers 0, Cambridge United 1, Cardiff 2, Swindon 1, Charlton 2, Stevenage 0, Chesterfield 0, Mansfield 2, Coventry 1, Luton 0, Gillingham 0, Wimbledon 1, Grimsby 2, Shrewsbury 0, Harrogate 0, Lincoln 2, Leyton Orient 0, Wickham 0, Northampton 0, Southampton 1, Oxford 1, Colchester 0, Plymouth 2, QPR 2, Portsmouth 0, Reading 2, Salford 0, Rotherham 0, Stoke 0, Walsall 0, Watford 0, Norwich 2, West Brom 0, Derby 0, Wigan 1, Notts County 0, Wrexham 1, Hull City 1, Shrewsbury pull one back at Grimsby, but the trail 2-1. Tom Sang with the goal. And in an 8 o'clock kick-off live on talkSport 2, it's Bromley 1, Ipswich 0. You're listening to Kick-Off on talkSport with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
Kick-Off on talkSport with Ladbrokes. 18+. Gambleaware.org.
Tradespeople, fixers, makers and doers of the undone. Anyone who knows their way around a toolbox. With Seeker on your side, there's no detail too small and tricky. No design too grand and no mission too impossible. With a range of products for every job and quality you can count on, nothing can stand in your way. Not even the length of this ad break. So can someone stick the tunes back on? Seeker, bring it on.
Save with EETV and get the ultimate flex.
Is anyone up for Squid Game on Netflix? What about The Rookie on Now?
Wait, I need to catch up. No spoilers here. With EETV, you can switch up your subscription so you never miss unmissable shows.
So I can watch whatever I want?
That's right. Switch on Netflix, Now, and Discovery Plus to suit you. All on our ultra-reliable broadband. That's why TV lovers are choosing EE. Search EETV deals today.
New customers, 56% UK availability. Terms apply.
At Betfair, we believe that to play different, you need the right tools. The boots, the world-class tactics, the science-backed nutrition. The pros have their tools, and with Betfair, so do you. Our safer gambling tools work just like the right pair of boots, designed to keep you on top of your game. Open the Betfair app to equip yourself so you can bet at your best. Betfair. Play different.
18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Get more matches than ever before with Virgin Media's bigger combo in Sports HD bundle, including Sky Sports HD, TV, and M500 broadband. That's big on football, big on tennis, big on cricket, and big weekends glued to the biggest rugby matches. All for our lowest monthly price ever. Visit virginmedia.com. New customers on eligible bundles, Virgin Fibre areas, subject to restrictions and credit check, no setup fee, online only, terms apply.
When you're growing a small business, you need someone who understands the ins and outs. And whether you're a tailor or an accountant, you need the tools to succeed. With an HSBC small business banking account, you'll have free accounting tools and access to our business specialists, virtually or in person. Because whatever your small business looks like, we're with you all the way. Search HSBC Small Business Banking Account to get started. Subject to application, eligibility, credit check and T's and C's. Visit hsbc.co.uk for details.
Whatever kind of football fan you are, talkSPORT and the Coral Daily Download are here for it to celebrate the fans every day. Whether you're a front row seater or a prawn sandwich eater, a half-and-half scarf wearer or a lifelong faithful torchbearer, a retro shirt for every game or bare-chested, even in the rain. For all the latest news, reaction and odds this season, don't miss the Coral Daily Download. Every morning from 6 on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
The talkSPORT app. Yeah, it's the talkSPORT app. Swipe left for talkSPORT 2. And hit a hole-in-one with live PGA Tour golf. Swipe right for talkSPORT.
With the all-new Superstar Breakfast featuring Alan Brazil, Jeff Stelling, Ali McCoy, and the other guy. Give your phone
the finger. The talkSPORT app.
What are you waiting for? Download it from your app store now.
It's talkSPORT taking you around the grounds. We've got cup goals. First one at the Riverside. Mark Wilson.
Job done here. Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster Rovers 3. Robbie Gotts with a shot from 25 yards out. It was a rare break forward for Donny in the second half. They've been having to defend, but they broke forward. The ball fell to Gotts 25 yards out. Nobody closed him down. He had a left foot low shot. It wasn't the most powerful, but it went right in the corner of Tom Glover's net here. The Riverside, barring, a couple of thousand Doncaster fans over on the far side, is virtually empty. We're into the last 3 minutes here. It's Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster 3.
Oh, what a big win that is for Doncaster. 3 wins out of 3 to start their season under Grant McCann. The deadlock has been broken at the Hawthorns for Jeff Peters.
It's West Brom 1, Derby 0. Orne Hegerberg has got his first goal for the club after his move for £4.7 million. The Norwegian called the Hulk, a clinical finish from close range. Styles with the ball clipped to the right-hand side. Price with a cushion header back across, and Hegerberg couldn't really miss. He's broken the deadlock here finally with almost 70 played. It's West Brom 1, Derby 0.
Derby lost 3-1 at Stoke. I was there after the game. John Eustace, the Derby manager, said Stoke had very few chances. No, they had 7 efforts on target, mate. It's a poor spin from him. He says a point would have been fair. I don't think so, John. And they're a goal down tonight as well. Goal at Hayes Lane in the Cup. Sam Ellards.
Bromley 1, Ipswich 1. The Championship side equalised right at the start of the second half. Ogbene broke down the right-hand side. He found Chaplin, who made a really good run into the box. His shot hit the bar, and the substitute Ben Johnson scored the rebound from close range. Ipswich starting this second half really well. There is live commentary on talkSPORT 2. Bromley 1, Ipswich 1.
A big goal at the racecourse as well. Courtney Sweet-McKirk and Adam Bridge.
Yeah, Wrexham 1, Hull City 2, and it's Joel Ndala who's on loan from Manchester City who's got the goal from around about 8 yards out inside the Wrexham penalty area. A nice tidy finish from him, and it came after we'd had a 3-minute delay here for what looked like a nasty facial injury to Matt Crooks, who's okay and is up and about after he crashed into Elliot Lee. There was a ream of substitutions then by Wrexham, and then on the counter, Hull just broke inside the penalty area, the ball across to Ndala, and very composed with his finish, Courtney.
Yeah, it was, and what I liked as well, the timing of his run. You just saw him hanging sort of off the back shoulder of one of the defenders, and then when he knew the ball was coming across, just that short, sharp, dynamic run. He's got a lot of pace, especially over the first couple of yards, and then by that point he's got himself in a perfect position, as you say, only about 6 yards out. There's obviously still a lot to do, but puts it in the back of the net, and I don't think that the Hull City fans actually over to our right sort of realised at first, because the ball came back out. It was a bit of a strange one, and then they saw the players celebrating, and then obviously in the fans to the right hand side they erupt. So it's I think it's about fair, to be fair. Hull City have then started to control the game again in this second half, and a lot for Wrexham to do, especially for those substitutes that have just come on.
Yeah, it was Gelhardt with a cross. For a moment you thought the keeper had saved it, but it hit the back of the net and just rebounded straight back out. Big goal here, 18 minutes remaining. Wrexham 1, Hull City 2. And goals elsewhere. Lincoln go 3 up at Harrogate. Rob Street with the third halfway through the second half. Watford pull one back at home to Norwich, but they trailed 2-1. The young striker Kwadwo Bar with it, and then a 7:30 kick-off in the 86th minute, a consolation for Crewe. They trail 3-1 at Stockport. On loan from Stoke, the young striker Emre Tezgah has scored his first for Crewe Alexandra. Stockport 3, Crewe 1. 7:30 kick-off, so we're coming to a close at Holker Street as well in the Cup. talkSports, Matt Jones.
Yeah, just about 90 seconds to go here, and it remains Barrow 0, Preston 1, but Barrow have just hit the post through former Preston player Tom Barkhausen. Ball played into him, and he swung a right-footed volley at it, and it crashed into the woodwork and bounced away to safety, much to the delight of Preston, who until that point hadn't looked like conceding. They've been by far the better team since going 1-0 up. Thierry Smalls had a number of chances, so has Whiteman since he came on. They just haven't been able to get one past Winterbottom to make it a comfortable night. So just a few moments to go. Preston not exactly hanging on, but definitely breathing a sigh of relief. Barrow 0, Preston 1.
Here at Sixfields, home side trying to get back on level terms. Ian Danter.
Less than quarter of an hour to play. Northampton 0, Southampton 1. That goal coming 2 minutes after the restart from Matías Fernandes, who's since been taken off. A raft of substitutions been made by both managers. One half chance since we last spoke to you about this game. Sam Hoskins, born in Dorchester and was a Southampton youth player, had half a chance when the ball dropped from right-hand side of the area, struck it firmly, but it was a good 2 yards wide of Alex McCarthy's near post. Southampton are not home and hosed yet by any means. They don't look convincing with this 1-0 scoreline. If Northampton believe in themselves a little bit more, I think they could get themselves level and force penalties. It is, though. Northampton 0, Southampton 1.
Yep, Saints still in front. Let's go to the CBS Arena. talkSports, Dave Rowe.
Coventry 1, Luton 0. Ellis Sims with the only goal of the game in the second half. Luton played well in the first half. They should really have been in front. They missed 2 or 3 decent chances. There have not been too many signs of them coming back into the game in the seconds it's going behind. Their only effort on goal coming set up by Milenik Ali off the bench from the right-hand side. Pull back for Zach Nelson to fire way over the crossbar. And Coventry responded by bringing on some of their big hitters, but Radoni and Sakamoto are on. It's still Coventry 1, Luton 0.
It is talkSport taking you to Home Park in search of a winner there. Lawrence Mora.
Plymouth 2, QPR 2, and I thought you were going to join me just as we got it, and it was Owen Orsini who got the equaliser for Plymouth. Was on the end of a cross by Amarici, and it just in the 6-yard box, only 6 yards out, but his header wasn't on target. It went over the bar into the collection of QPR fans behind the goal. Remember, QPR leading 2-0 at the break. They've been pegged back to 2-2. It's all to play for with 74 gone. Plymouth 2, QPR 2.
Deadlock has been broken in the cup tie at Bloomfield Road, and it's Blackpool 0, Port Vale 1. He's only just signed for the Mo Farah. Gets his first goal for Darren Moore's side. Blackpool have conceded 7 in their 2 League One games so far. Lost 4-1 at Exeter at the weekend. Steve Bruce apologising afterwards. He said it's the worst display since he's been at the club. They were 1 down after 4 minutes, 2 down after 15 minutes. Lost 4-1 and they're a goal down at home to Port Vale tonight. Port Vale League Cup quarter-finalists 2 seasons ago. Cambridge have doubled their lead at Bristol Rovers. Ryan Loft with the second. Bristol Rovers 0, Cambridge United 2. We're off to Fratton Park on talkSPORT. Scott Minto and Alex Crook.
And the shock is still on here. It's Portsmouth 0, Reading 2. We've seen Pompey defender Jacob Farrell flash a header wide of the far post from a corner. That's as close as Pompey have come in this second half to reducing the 2-0 half-time deficit. What a bizarre incident we witnessed just a couple of moments ago. Ben Killip, the Pompey goalkeeper, saw his clearance charged down on the edge of the area by the Reading sub Marco Marni. In a panic, Killip tried to catch the ball 2 yards outside his box. It was clearly a handball. He would have been sent off, I'm pretty sure. He was rescued by the assistant referee who flagged for offside. Now, we've not seen a replay. I'm not sure he was offside, was he?
No, absolutely not. I'm just double checking that he's not a family member, the assistant referee, because Marco Marni's come down on it. Killip's literally, it's come straight to him, and it's a reaction more than anything else. It's not intentional, but it's not the point. He's caught the ball outside the box, and then suddenly he's put his flag up, thinking, right, we're going to be a free kick here and maybe even a sending off. And then in the end, he's given it to Portsmouth. I don't get it.
Well, it probably won't have a massive bearing on the outcome unless the Championship side can launch a grandstand comeback here, but it was a very odd incident. Portsmouth 0, Reading 2.
It is still 1-0 to Southampton here at Northampton, and Northampton pressing for an equaliser. They've got a corner. Meantime, we'll go to Ewood Park. John Dunn.
Blackburn 1, Bradford 2. The League One side still leading the Championship side. Blackburn close on a couple of occasions to an equaliser. 21-year-old Christy Montgomery has moved from right back into midfield. Just beyond the hour mark, he struck a decent effort from range. It just dipped over the bar. And Toure Ibu, who scored Bradford's first goal, nearly scored an own goal. A cross in from the left. He was on the right side. Back across goal. Goalkeeper Sam Walker scrambling across his line to tip the ball for a corner. Todd Cantwell is on for Blackburn, injured for the opening game of the season. They're hoping he can spark this comeback, but Blackburn's story has been giving possession away, and it was through giving possession away that Humphreys nearly scored a third for Bradford. In on the right, got it onto his left foot, but it was a shot that was saved by Mikalski. Blackburn pushing forward again, 15 to go. Blackburn 1, Bradford 2.
Well, Northampton have gone very, very close, getting closer to an equaliser, but they trail 1-0 to Southampton here at Sixfields. We'll head to the Valley on talkSPORT. What's happening there? Ian Abrams.
Really stupid. Stevenage had brought on Jamie Reid, run into the box, just couldn't get a shot away. But I'm just mesmerised really by Nathan Jones on the touchline. His team are cruising. He is jumping up and down. He's furious that subs aren't ready to come on. This is like a cup final to him, and there's only 4,000 here. Charlton 2, Stevenage 0.
Well, it could end up in a cup final. We've got a goal at Home Park. Lawrence Mora.
Could this be the winner? It's Plymouth 3, QPR 2. They have turned it around, and Owen Orseni has his second of the night. QPR absolutely furious. They thought he was in an offside position at the back of the 6-yard box as Amichi's cross went over everybody, and he tapped it home. But the referee's assistant knew from the moment he kicked it, he kept his flag down, and Owen Orseni has pulled Plymouth back from the brink. They were 2 down at the break, and now as we enter the final 10 minutes, it's Plymouth 3, QPR 2.
Former Gateshead striker with the goal that could be the tonic that Tom Cleverley and Plymouth absolutely need. Let's get to the Riverside. talkSPORT's Mark Wilson.
It's Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster Rovers 4. Tom Nixon, the latest to add his name to the Rovers scorers list. The cross into the box was only partially cleared. Nixon picked it up, edge of the area, and he's curled it straight past Glover into the bottom corner. You'd think at 3-0 up they'd be sat back hanging on. They've been all out in attack, and they hit the post as well. Ironside hit the post. This has been an absolute demolition job. Borough might be about to get one back on the break. We are into 10 minutes of added on time here, but this has been an embarrassment for Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster 4.
That is a shocker for Rob Edwards. They actually won their opening game of the season at the weekend. Middlesbrough beating Swansea 1-0. Dale Fry, the centre-half, has been at Borough 20 years with the goal. 4-0 down to League One Doncaster at home. Goal at the Valley, Ian Abrams.
Charlton 3, Stevenage 0, that really is it. 2 first-half goals from youngsters. This one is from the most established player in the Charlton team, Luke Berry. Ball in from the left-hand side. Berry with a diving header 8 yards out beyond the goalkeeper, Ashby Hammond. All over. Charlton 3, Stevenage 0.
Goal at Wrexham, Courtney, Swinton, Kirk and Adam Bridge.
Yeah, looks like it's game over here. Wrexham 1, Hull City 3, 9 minutes remaining here. And the game put beyond them. Good work by Casey Palmer out wide on this left-hand side. And his cross into the penalty area. Turned home inside the box by Matt Crooks as he taps it in from close range. Really quite comfortable. And in the end, Wrexham just seemed to have dropped off a little bit defensively, Courtney.
Yeah, it was, and it's the fact that Casey Palmer reacts really well. He reacts the quick. He's actually trying to find the cutback for Ndala, but then it comes back to him. He doesn't rest. He doesn't let it go out for a goal kick. He actually just fires the ball across, and to be fair, Joseph does really well because he comes across the front post area, puts a bit of indecision into Okonkwo's mind, and that means that it just slips through to Matt Crooks, as you say, to tap in. Probably the easiest goal he'll score all season. But Ndala, I've liked watching him actually. He's tidy on the ball. He's dropped a few defenders a couple of times, so certainly one to watch.
Looks for the first time in 5 years as though Hull are heading to round 2. Wrexham 1, Hull City 3.
I did laugh when Phil Parkinson, after leading on 90 minutes of Southampton but losing 2-1 in the end, moaned about the expensive players Southampton had in their squad. That's what all of Wrexham's opponents have been feeling over the last 3 seasons, Phil. We're not stupid. We can see through it all. There's been a goal at Priestfield. Gillingham have equalised against Wimbledon. 1-1. Ethan Coleman with that goal. It's full-time. Stockport 3. Crewe Alexandra 1. Stockport are through. Swansea are through. They went through earlier, beating Crawley by 3-1. All over at Holker Street as well. Matt Jones.
It is indeed. Barrow 0, Preston 1. A own goal separating these two sides. One, of course, in the Championship and one, of course, in League 2. But it was Raglan heading into his own net midway through this second half that gives Preston the victory. A floated cross towards the edge of the 18-yard box. He tried to nod it back towards his own keeper, but his keeper had come off his line and it dribbled into the back of the net. Barrow did have a chance to get back into it late on. Tom Barkhausen against his former club, crashing a volley against the near post, which just about bounced away to safety. And they had a few other chances as well, most of them coming to Conor Mahoney, who was impressive up top. He forced a good save out of Walton and saw an audacious effort land on the roof of the net. But Preston with a better side on the balance of play. They too had their fair share of chances. They just weren't particularly good in the 18-yard box. The Preston fans on the far side will be delighted. The last train back to Preston's in 20 minutes time. They'll make it now. There's no penalties. Full-time, Barrow 0, Preston 1.
And the full-time whistle has just gone at the Riverside. What a shocker this is. Mark Wilson.
Yeah, Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster 4. Doncaster in front inside 11 minutes after a lovely team move. Saw Ben Close tap in from close range. Then Damola Ajayi, the Spurs loan, he had a shot that on the line they made a real mess of. Alfie Jones went into the back of the net. 2-0 at the break, and it was that way until 6 minutes left when Robbie Gotts hit a low shot past the keeper from 25 yards. Tom Nixon added insult to injury, deep in added on time. Another great finish from the edge of the penalty area. Ian Lawler made a few good saves either half, but Grant McCann made 11 changes tonight, and Doncaster have absolutely outplayed Middlesbrough. Rob Edwards has got big problems here. Brad Vandenberg could be on his way out. Hayden Hackney could be on his way out. How Borough spend that money could be crucial, because on this evidence it's going to be a long old year for the Borough. Borough 0, Doncaster 4.
Posh have pulled one back at Accrington, but the trail 2-1 on 79. Archie Collins, who has refused a new contract, is on his way out. Has got the goal. Accrington 2, Peterborough United 1. Any sign of a goal at Stoke? Mickey Gray.
Absolutely not, Adrian. We're into the final 10 minutes of the game. Still Stoke 0, Walsall 0, but nobody's really created any opportunities in this football match apart from Jamie Donnelly, the one that hit the crossbar and he shot very early on in the game, 7 minutes into the game. But there's a lot of possession for Stoke City, but they're just not doing anything with it. Their quality in the final third has been really poor. Walsall have just stood their ground. They've been defended very well, clearing the lines. Adoma and Gordon were very lively, but Gordon's gone off the pitch now. There's been a raft of changes in the game, but I don't think anything's going to change. Thank goodness there's going to be penalties and no extra time tonight. Stoke 0, Walsall 0.
Interesting. Mark Robbins, after the win of a derby at the weekend, said the feel of the place is different. Well, not so tonight. Let's go to our talkSPORT 2 commentary game. What's happening at Hayes Lane? Sam Ellards.
70 minutes gone, it's still Bromley 1, Ipswich 1. Johnson equalising for Ipswich early in the second half, but Marcus Dinanga, 2 massive chances for Bromley. The first one played through 1-on-1 with the Ipswich goalkeeper. Walton, his shot from close range was saved, should have done better. Then moments later broke free down the right hand side, goes into the box, cuts back on his left foot, goal at his mercy. He shoots, but an incredible goal saving block from Barbrook. Meanwhile for Ipswich, Ogbene, who's been probably Ipswich's best player, has had a shot over from just outside the box. Johnson also having an effort from just outside the box, which went just over. Game is really opened up. There's live commentary on talkSPORT 2 with Darren Ambrose, the former Ipswich midfielder, and Jim Proudfoot. 70 gone, Bromley 1, Ipswich 1.
Well, Northampton here pressing for an equaliser. It's not coming at the moment, Ian Danter.
Northampton 0, Southampton 1 with 2 minutes to go plus added time, and they really are trying to force the issue, but they've just given away a free kick. Jack Perkins going to get a yellow card for a challenge on Ryan Fraser. They've had a really good chance to equalise in the last 5 or 10 minutes. A corner from the right-hand side, left-footed in-swinger, found Michael Forbes on as a substitute, unmarked. About 6 yards out, he headed the ball down into the turf and it bounced over the crossbar. Northampton's best chance of this second half. Tyrese Forner down the left-hand side has been a real devil for Northampton in the second half. There was one cross he put in that was absolutely magnificent and deserves somebody to be on the end of it. He's the man most likely to create something for the Cobblers, but that goal 2 minutes after the restart from Matías Fernández appears to be sending Southampton through to round 2. Latter stages here. Northampton 0, Southampton 1.
Well, Cobblers giving it a good go, but just can't find the back of the net. They trail 1-0. What's happening at the Hawthorns? talkSPORT's Jeff Peters.
It's West Brom 1, Derby 0. Just a few minutes of normal time remaining here. Orna Hegeba with the goal, his first for the club after joining this summer. He's gone off now. Josh Maja has come on. He hasn't played and hadn't had any competitive minutes since January because of injury, and he's come close to getting a second goal. Vickers making another excellent save. He's kept out Price a couple of times, and Johnston and Styles as well, so the margin of victory could be even bigger for the Baggies. But Derby still in this. Lennon Wheeldon, the 19-year-old, on a sub with a powerful header just wide. But if West Brom don't win this, then it will be a real shock because they have dominated. It's West Brom 1, Derby 0.
Reminder of the early full times in the Carabao Cup first round tonight. Swansea beat Crawley 3-1, Barrow 0, Preston 1, Newport 0, Millwall 1 is a full time, and Stockport beat Crewe 3-1, and the big one, Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster Rovers 4. League One Doncaster, only promoted at the end of last season, 4-0 winners at Championship Middlesbrough. 4 minutes added on here. It's still Northampton 0, Southampton 1. Northampton trying to find the equaliser. What's happening at the CBS Arena? Dave Rowe.
Coventry 1, Luton 0. Coventry should get the job done here. They've had chances for a second goal. Rodoni forcing a brilliant save from keeper Shea from a free kick in the D that Shea got down to his right to tip wide, and then Thomas Asante teeing up Sims on a plate for number 2, and Sims put the shot off target. The frustration for Luton is that they would have gone through with Jerry Yates. The referee had already blown up for a foul on Fanner. Luton would have certainly wanted him to play on because Yates would have gone through, but the free kick was given and the chance was lost. We're in the 90th minute here. It's Coventry 1, Luton 0.
Another goal at the Valley for talkSPORT's Ian Abrams.
Charlton 3, Stevenage 1. A consolation for the League One side. Ball crossed in from the right hand side for Lewis Freestone, left completely unmarked to head past Will Mannion in the Charlton goal. Won't make any difference to the result, but it's given Stevenage a goal in front of their fans. Charlton 3, Stevenage 1.
Plymouth holding on, incredible comeback at home park. talkSPORT's Lawrence Mora.
Yeah, Plymouth 3, QPR 2. Both sets of players look absolutely out on their feet, and it's been the intensity that the home side have played at in the second half which has turned the game on his head. 2 down at the break. Wiradou headed home. Owen Orseni grabbed a double on his first start for the club, and now we've got players going down with cramp as we head into the final minute of normal time. Will there be a twist in the tail? It's Plymouth 3, QPR 2.
Bradford holding on at Blackburn. John Dunn.
Blackburn 1, Bradford 2. The League One side in front. Their fans are loud and proud to my right-hand side. Struggling to see how Blackburn might get back into this. They are coming forward as we speak. And it's a shot that's pushed onto the bar by Sam Walker. Nearly a commentator's curse. But Blackburn have been so poor in possession. And that's why I don't think they'll score, because when they've come forward, they've given possession away cheap. deeply, and then at the back they're gifting chances to Bradford. They've not been able to take them. But however, we are going into the closing stages. Blackburn have a corner, and it's Blackburn 1, Bradford 2.
Bradford winning. They're managed by Graham Alexander, a former Burnley Player of the Year. Won't go down well at Burnley's rivals Blackburn this evening. Another goal at Wrexham for Courtney Sweetman-Kirk and Adam Bridge.
Hello. We're into 8 minutes of added time here. Wrexham 2, Hull City 3. James McLean from wide on the left-hand side. Lovely cross, and Ollie Palmer, well, showing Ryan Hardy how to do it. He replaced him as a substitute, and he's nodded it into the back of the net, Courtney.
Yeah, and this has happened for Wrexham on more than one occasion, where from both sides the ball's come in, but the service has been brilliant, but the end product hasn't been good enough. Well, Ollie Palmer at this moment in time has changed that wonderful header. Obviously, he's already got that stature, but still the big jump rises high, uses all those neck muscles, cranes his neck to get even more power on the header. And now the tails are up and they're on the attack again.
They are. 7 minutes of added time remaining here. There are 8 in total as they do get a crossover. Goal! It's a goal! And it's Ollie Palmer again! Would you believe it? The 92nd minute of this game, and from 3-1 down as they entered stoppage time. Wrexham have pulled it round. It's 3 apiece. Ollie Palmer at the double, 2 in 2 minutes. Would you believe it, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk?
Well, it's brilliant. All the fans around us are on their feet. I think there was a few fans actually leaving. I bet they're in the concourse trying to find the way back in, to be honest, after they've heard that roar. But to be fair, Wrexham, they've done well since they've made the substitutions. They've looked aggressive. They've got more balls in the box. Hull City, to be honest, they've gone to sleep a little bit. I think 3-1 they thought late on. They've won the game, but Wrexham thought otherwise.
Unbelievable finish here. Still 6 minutes of added time to play. Wrexham 3, Hull City 3. It's a throw on the far side for Hull City, who look like they had this game in the bag. They won here back in 2001 in this competition, 3-2. But somehow Wrexham have pulled themselves out the depths here. The introduction of the likes of Windass and Palmer and Jack Marriott as well, and Ryan Barnett down this right-hand side have inspired this Wrexham side, who are on the charge again. And there's going to be a free kick just over halfway. And Wrexham now buoyed, Courtney.
Yeah, they are, and you know, you mentioned Barnett as well in terms of last season. I think in League One he had 9 assists, so you know he's got fantastic dead ball quality. Obviously, Windass is already off the mark in the Championship. They've got quality all around the pitch, Wrexham. There's no doubt about that, and especially with the substitutes they've brought on. And then you can hear the noise now. The fans believe they don't want penalties; they want another goal.
Remember as well, Phil Parkinson changed all 11 of the starting 11 last from Saturday, and they've got themselves back in it. It's a good knockdown again from Palmer into the box that's gathered by Dylan Phillips away to our right-hand side. Full time in the game between Northampton and Southampton. Ian Danter.
Northampton 0, Southampton 1, so the Saints go through courtesy of Matthias Fernandez' goal 2 minutes inside the second half, but a valiant effort from the League One side under Kevin Nolan, who huffed and puffed and really tried to get themselves level, but just fell short in the end. Northampton 0, Southampton 1.
Lewis O'Brien finds Marriott at the left-hand side of the box by the byline, swings it over and straight out of play. He was in a terrific position to cross that ball over, but it's out for what will be a goal kick away to our right-hand side for Hull. 3-3 here at the racecourse ground. We've still got 4 added minutes, Courtney.
Yeah, and I think obviously you can hear the fans. They're excited, they're buoyant, but also I think there's probably a little bit of frustration as to, you know, for a lot of this second half, where has that been? Where is that aggression in the box to really want to put your body on the line to get end of these crosses, on the end of the crosses rather been?
Halfway line with this time Hughes, who nods it forward down this near side. Out of play for a throw to Wrexham in the right back position. Let's get to the CBS Arena for a full time from Dave Rowe.
3-1 Luton, nil, not entirely convincing, but the Championship side do go through thanks to a second half goal from Ellis Sims, finishing off hard work by Raphael and Hadji Wright, who teed him up. Luton's best chances came in the first half, both for Woodrow and Nordas off target, and James Shea made a great save in the second half, denying Jack Rodoni. Final score, Coventry 1, Luton 0.
3 minutes to go here, down that right-hand side. Here come Hull again, trying to swing an early ball in. Crooks tries to win it back, but he's beaten to it on this occasion by Lewis O'Brien from deep inside his own half, sends it forward down that left-hand touchline. Jack Marriott's after it. Hughes will come across, and it's safely away to our right-hand side, into the feet of Dylan Phillips in that Hull goal. Reminder, Adrian Durham will be back with you shortly. We're just bringing you the closing stages here from the racecourse ground on talkSPORT. 3 minutes remaining. Here they come with Kamara this time. Hull towards the edge of the penalty area. Left-footed shot, he's bent, and it's just round the right hand upright. Okonkwo was down and think he may have got a touch because they've got themselves a corner. There's a goal at Fratton Park for Alex Crook.
And maybe this isn't all over. Portsmouth 1, Reading 2. Great moment for the teenager Teo Singer off the bench. He scored from close range. We're into stoppage time. It's Portsmouth 1, Reading 2.
Stoppage time here, corner for Hull down the left-hand side. It's 3-3. Ryan Giles is going to be the player to swing this in. Okonkwo will be under some pressure, you feel, as that's towards Charlie Hughes, who can't get there, and the other substitute, Windass, will bring it out from that far side. He just clips the ball into no man's land, and Dylan Phillips will come to the edge of his penalty area, the Hull goalkeeper, and he will gather the ball and try to set the Tigers on the way again. 2 minutes of added time remaining. Reminder, the sports bar coming up tonight after 10. Your chance to react to tonight's Carabao Cup action. Final 2 minutes, surely one more chance, Corner.
Yeah, I think there will be, and you see it's obviously kick-started Hull City back into life again. They'll be so frustrated with themselves to relinquish that two-goal lead, also so quickly concede one, but then to do it again immediately.
And here they come again, Andala down this near side, but he's offside, and it will be a free kick for Wrexham just outside their own box. A reminder, Doncaster have got the better of Middlesbrough, 4-0 up at the Riverside today. A win for them. Preston already through. We've heard Southampton through as well. Coventry just about beating Luton too. The full-time whistle coming up in our other games. We'll go round to those as those final whistles go. 1 more minute of stoppage time here. We could be heading to penalties. Wrexham 3, Hull City 3. Forward it goes for Wrexham. Trying to go up and win the header that time was at the far side of the penalty area. Ollie Palmer, the man who's dragged them back into this with 2 goals in the first 2 minutes of 8 minutes of stoppage time. 3-1 down, it looked like game over. And actually, Hull had plenty of chances as well. There's been a goal at the Hawthorns for Jeff Peters.
A goal out of nothing. West Brom 1, Derby 1. Derby have equalised with their first shot on target in the 96th minute. Free kick on the left-hand side. Joe Ward, he hasn't played since January, and he's pinged it past everybody into the far corner. Could be heading to penalties here. West Brom 1, Derby 1.
All the drama of the Carabao Cup live on talkSPORT. More for you, of course, tomorrow night, as well as that Super Cup game live here on talkSPORT 2. We've got about 10, maybe 20 seconds left, you would feel. Maybe there's one more chance in this, as Hull will clear from the edge of their own penalty area. Charlie Hughes quite comfortable, and there is the full-time whistle. So Hull with 3-1 up heading into added time here, but Wrexham have pulled it back to 3-3, and we'll have penalties soon.
Back there for penalties. Let's get full-time at Home Park. Lawrence Mora.
Finish Plymouth 3, QPR 2. League One Pilgrims have their first win of the season. Tom Cleverley has his first win as Plymouth manager. Oh, and they did it the hard way against Championship QPR. Having dominated the first half, they missed an absolute host of chances. They saw Patterson's penalty saved by Nardi, and there was some awful defending, which saw Benny and Colley score for the R's and put them 2 up. Julien Stéphan made 11 changes coming into this game for his team, and second half Plymouth's intensity was just too much for his reserves. Brendan Wiradou headed home number 1. It was 2-2 within 10 minutes of the restart. Owen Orseni acrobatically turning the ball home. That was his first goal for his new club. And home side kept pushing. Orseni then on his first start, who turned the ball home from Watts' pinpoint cross to win it. A big roar at full time. The gloom lifted somewhat at Home Park. What a night's action. Plymouth 3, QPR 2.
Grimsby got a third against Shrewsbury, 3-1. Harrogate pulled one back, but 3-1 down against Lincoln. Wickham, late winner at Orient, a Jack Simpson own goal. Full-time at Fratton, Scott Minto and Alex Crook.
And it's the League One side who go through. Portsmouth 1, Reading 2. The damage done for Championship Pompey, with 2 goals conceded in the space of 4 first-half minutes. Teenager Andre Garcia firing home at the far post on 34 minutes, his first ever senior goal, and that was doubled by the excellent Kelvin Ehibachanam just 4 minutes later. Powerful play on the edge of the area from him, flicking the ball over the head of one Pompey defender and then jinking his way past another before firing into the far corner. It took until the 93rd minute for Pompey to get themselves on the score sheet. It was a big moment though for Teo Singer, the teenage academy product, with a goal on his debut in front of the Fratton end. Not enough though to save John Massinio's men's blushes. It finishes Portsmouth 1, Reading 2, Scott Minto.
Yeah, and well deserved. Well deserved from Reading, you have to say. First half done and dusted, looked very solid defensively, and you mentioned his name, Eti Abachiman. He was definitely the difference, created the first goal, scored the second, and we talked about it, didn't we? Great skill and then composure. And with respect, Portsmouth are never really going to come back into it. John Massinio made 5 substitutions, and they hustled and bustled, but they didn't really create any chances. And that goal coming in the 93rd minute was their first shot on target in the second half. So I think that pretty much says everything. A lot of possession, but Reading very good defensively. A good win for Noel Hunt.
We're going to Wembley, the Reading fans were singing towards the end of the game.
Long way to go.
Portsmouth 1, Reading 2.
I think they're going to Pens, the Hawthorns. Jeff Peters.
They are. West Brom 1, Derby 1. Derby's first shot on target in the 96th minute, producing a dramatic late equaliser. Joe Ward's been out injured since January. He had the free kick, tight angle left-hand side, fired it beyond everyone into the far corner. Smash and grab raid, really. The Baggies dominated. Josh Vickers made a string of fine saves, but was beaten by Norwegian Orne Hegerber midway through the second half. A first goal for the summer signing. They just couldn't see it through. West Brom 1, Derby 1, penalties to come.
They've gone to penalties at Salford and at Gillingham as well. Both teams have missed one in the Salford shootouts that's ongoing at the Peninsula right now. Salford against Rotherham after a 0-0 draw. Full-time at Ewood, John Dunn.
Blackburn 1, Bradford 2, a fully deserved victory for the League One side, unbeaten at the start of the season. In front after 90 seconds, a sweet volley from Ibo Toure, and then a horrendous error on 4 minutes by debutant 18-year-old goalkeeper Nicholas Mikalski. Gifted Will Swan his first Bradford goal. Blackburn pulled one back just before half-time, but in fairness they were poor in the second period, couldn't keep possession and never really looked like they would equalise. It's full-time, Blackburn 1, Bradford 2.
Right, let's get to Pens at Wrexham. Courtney Sweet, McKirk and Anna Bridge.
James McLean will step up first for the home side against Dylan Phillips in front of a wall of red away to our right-hand side, and beautifully rolls it to his left. The goalkeeper's right, the keeper went the wrong way, and Wrexham off to the perfect start, Courtney.
Yeah, they are, although got to look at the goalkeeper there, and I think he's gone far too early for my liking. I feel like he's already across, diving to his left before McLean's even struck the ball.
Casey Palmer will be the player to step forward for Hull City. Very impressive throughout tonight, got the assist for the third goal that looks to have put Hull into round 2 for the first time in 5 seasons. There are fans behind the goal with their lights on their phones just waving them to try and distract him as he sets down. Okonkwo will make himself big, both arms stretched in the air. It's right-footed from Casey Palmer, and he puts it low to the keeper's left, and the keeper decided not to move on that occasion.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those where obviously if you score it's a good pen, but wasn't necessarily in the corner, so if Okonkwo goes the right way then he probably saves it.
Elliot Lee, scorer of the first goal tonight for Wrexham, about to step forward and take their second penalty. One apiece in the shootout. Dylan Phillips has a fairly decent record when it comes to saving penalties for Rotherham. He won them a shootout against Morecambe, saving a couple of penalties on that occasion. And now he'll face up to the right foot of Elliot Lee away to our right-hand side. The wall of red behind. Lee steps up with a little dummy and then puts it beyond the keeper, who dived the right way. Wasn't too far away. And it's 2-1 to Wrexham, full-time at Charlton in Abrahams.
Charlton 3, Stevenage 1. First half goals from Leeburn and Fuller, academy graduates. 1 in the second from Luke Berry. Freestone's late goal for Stevenage. Nothing more than the consolation. Charlton 3, Stevenage 1.
It's been a big night for Joel Ndala. First senior goal on loan from Manchester City. And he will take the second penalty for Hull, who trail in this shootout 2-1 against Wrexham. You're listening to talkSPORT, Carabao Cup first round. More of this drama for you tomorrow night. Other shootouts going on at Gillingham, Salford and the Hawthorns as well. We'll bring you news of those when we can. But here's Ndala from 12 yards. Can Okonkwo be the hero on this occasion? Wrexham leading 2-1. Steps up and he hits the underside of the bar. The keeper went the right way, but there There was no need to make the save. It's ricocheted down into the ground and away. And the young man who was having the perfect of nights has had a disastrous ending.
Yeah, it's a shame for him because he played really well in the game. He was confident, wanted to get on the ball, and he's gone for that top left-hand corner, just trying to get it right in the sort of stanchion area. It's probably, you know, a couple of inches too high, and it's ricochets back out.
Here's penalty number 3 for Wrexham, right-footed from Windass. Well, he did it on Saturday, and he's done it again tonight. And Wrexham lead 3-1 in the shootout. Josh Windass the scorer.
Calm as you like. Really, really small run-up, just a little shuffle of the feet, a couple of steps, and then dispatches it right in the side netting as well, even though the goalkeeper goes the right way. Can't get anywhere near it.
Abu Kamara will step up, another substitute for Hull tonight. These sides met in this competition 21 years ago. Finished 2-2 on the night. Penalty shootout. Wrexham won it. Could they be doing it tonight? They lead 3-1 in the shootout. Third penalty for Hull City. Abu Kamara will step up, arms waving from Okonkwo. Away to our right-hand side, left-footed, drills it into the bottom corner. Excellent penalty. Keeper went the wrong way.
Yeah, excellent the way that he opens his body up. That's normally the harder way, to open your body up, to still get the power, to not telegraph the fact that you're going to go that side. Dispatches it really well in the side netting.
Sports Bar coming up after 10 tonight here on talkSPORT. Your chance to react to all tonight's Carabao Cup action and some of the big sporting stories of the day. Ollie Palmer, the hero for Wrexham tonight. It was 3-1 at the start of 8 minutes of stoppage time. Within 2 minutes it was 3-3, courtesy of Ollie Palmer, who drills it low and powerful into the bottom right-hand corner as he looks. And Dylan Phillips didn't move, didn't stand a chance, and it's 4-2 to Wrexham.
Yeah, again, a little bit disappointed there with Dylan Phillips, and a couple of times I think he's tried to be, you know, really big, jumping around, moving, trying to be that big presence, but actually there he wasn't set, he couldn't get down quick enough, and he was too busy messing about. And Ollie Palmer just thinks, no, I'm going to dispatch this in the bottom right-hand corner.
Ryan Giles has to score for Hull, or it's Wrexham who are heading into round 2 of the Carabao Cup. 5 or 6 steps, we know it'll be left-footed. We know what he can do with his left foot. Doesn't score many goals. On this occasion, though, he does. And he makes it 4-3 to Wrexham as he sends the keeper the wrong way.
Yeah, it's a calm one, obviously. It's the pressure of that penalty as well, but just coolly slots it. Opens his body out to the right-hand side of the keeper, who goes the wrong way.
And it's all on Jack Marriott then to win it for Wrexham. They lead 4-3. 5th penalty for the home side. The Red Dragons with a chance to make it into round 2 under their own back and make it a clean sweep of penalties here. Jack Marriott then from 12 yards against Phillips. And as you can tell, he drills it into the corner. Phillips goes the wrong way, and it's Wrexham who win the shootout by 5 penalties to 3. And Courtney, it's Wrexham in round 2.
Yeah, and you know what? Fair play to them, because 90 minutes, 3-1 up, Hull City, they're coasting, they think they're going through. Wrexham had other ideas, specifically Ollie Palmer. I think the fact that Barnett's come on as well and done well and provided that assist. I spoke about his quality from crossing, and then there only looked like one winner really after that going to penalties. You see Wrexham are the ones with the impetus, with the confidence, and fair play to them. They've got themselves out of a hole that I probably didn't think they were going to get themselves out of at 90 minutes.
All over here then, Wrexham win the shootout 5-3, and they're into round 2.
Wow, shootouts elsewhere. Wimbledon have won their shootout 4-2 at Gillingham after a 1-1 draw. Rotherham have beaten Salford 3-2 on penalties after a 0-0 draw. There's a shootout ongoing at Stoke after their draw 0-0 with Walsall. Walsall have missed a penalty, but they're still in the middle of that shootout. There's been plenty of missed penalties in the shootout. The Hawthorns. talkSPORT's Jeff Peters.
Yeah, it's West Brom 1, Derby 2 in the shootout. Derby have missed 2 penalties. West Brom have missed 2 penalties. So Jason Malumbi has the chance now to level things up as we head towards sudden death. So Malumbi with this penalty for West Brom. It hits the woodwork but goes in. It's 2-2 after 4 penalties each. So Houtmine scored his for Derby. Jed Wallace was then denied by Vickers, who was terrific in the game, made a string of great saves. Ben Osborne then hit the post for Derby. Josh Madger hit the post for West Brom. Caden Jackson made it 2-0 to Derby in the shootout. Alex Mowat made it 2-1. Then Joe Ward had his effort saved by Wildsmith. Malumbi has just made it 2-2. So
We are now at the 5th penalty each. This is Ibu Adams with a penalty for Derby to try and put them back in the lead. It's front of the West Brom fans away to our left. Here's Adams, and he very calmly rolls it right down the middle as the keeper dives to his right-hand side, and it is 3-2 to Derby. It is sudden death. This has to go in. So 5 penalties for Derby. They've scored 3 and missed 2. 4 penalties for West Brom. They missed the first 2. They have scored the last 2. So it's going to be, well, can West Brom stay in the Carabao Cup this season? The man who's stepping up is Carlton Grant. If he scores this, then it will be 3 apiece. If he misses, then Derby will go through. Here's Carlton Grant. It's saved, pushed onto the post, and Derby somehow have got themselves through to the second round of the League Cup. West Brom dominated this game, so many chances. Orna Hegerber put them in front midway through the second half. Vickers made a number of terrific saves. Then in the 96th minute, Joe Ward with a stunning free kick equaliser to take it to penalties, and Derby have gone through on spot kicks in a dramatic end, 3-2.
Oh, you've got to love pens, and there's more in a shootout at Stoke. Mickey Gray.
Yes, it is. The Josh Bonham, the Stoke City goalkeeper, who steps up, and he actually wins it for Stoke City. He just blasts it with his laces through the middle of the goal. After we had Louis Baker, he scored the goal with James Matt. He made it 1-0 for Walsall. 2-1 it was to Stoke from Donnelly. And then it was Johnny Stuttle with his right foot. He missed for Walsall. Then it was down to Stoke City yet again. Divine Obama with his left foot. He missed. Tried to play it low into the bottom corner. Aidan Flint stepped up, the experienced centre-half, with his right foot, blasted it into the back of the net. And Junho Bay did exactly the same thing for Stoke to make it 3-3. Jealous, he put the ball in the back of the net. Albert Adoma for Walsall, he took the 5th penalty and needed to score, and he missed his opportunity. Tried to place it low into the bottom left-hand corner, but it's Stoke City who go through to round 2 after the goalkeeper Jack Bonham has blasted the ball into the back of the net. The players are all celebrating after a really poor 90 minutes of football. It's the Championship side that go through to round 2. It's finished here. Stoke City 4, Walsall 3.
Wow, more drama to come because Bromley Ipswich has gone to pens as well. We'll go to that in a second. That's on talkSPORT 2. Let me round up all the results. Swansea 3, Crawley 1, Barrow 0, Preston 1, Middlesbrough 0, Doncaster 4, the big shot, Newport 0, Millwall 1, Stockport 3, Crewe 1, Accrington 2, Peterborough 1, Blackburn 1, Bradford 2, Blackpool 0, Port Vale 1, Bristol City 2, MK Dons 0, Bristol Rovers 0, Cambridge United 2, Cardiff 2, Swindon 1, Charlton 3, Stevenage 1, Chesterfield 0, Mansfield 2, Coventry 1, Luton 0, Gillingham 1, Wimbledon 1, Wimbledon 1, 4-2 on penalties, Grimsby 3, Shrewsbury 1, Harrogate 1, Lincoln 3, Lane Orient 0, Wickham 1. Let's head straight to that shootout at Bromley. They're 1-0 with Ipswich after 90 minutes, going to penalties. Here's Jim Proudfoot and Darren Ambrose.
George Hurst for Ipswich. Now we welcome listeners from talkSPORT just as we're about to take the first penalty in the shootout at Bromley. It's Ipswich going first. They lost the toss. It's in front of the Bromley supporters. George Hurst up against Sam Long, who saved it. Hurst driving it a little bit too centrally, and Long dived to his right, but a relatively comfortable stop.
Yes, it was a comfortable stop. He looked confident, George Hurst. He should have been scoring the equaliser from the penalty spot against Birmingham. But he was equal to it, Long, wasn't he, once again, as he has been all evening. Good save.
So one number 9 is missed. The other number 9 will come forward to take his. Michael Cheek, who, like Hurst, came off the bench during the game, which ended 1-1. Cheek, who was the Golden Boot winner in League 2 last season. Future here still uncertain, but what about the present? Right-footed, great penalty. He sent Walton the wrong way and has rifled it 2/3 of the way up the goal on the left-hand side to make it 1-0 Bromley after 1 penalty apiece.
Brilliant. That's how you take a penalty. Michael Cheek, full of confidence, assured, sent him the wrong way and blasted it into the top left-hand side as we're looking at it. Brilliant penalty.
Next up, Sammy Schmodics. Well, Schmodics Didn't take a penalty in either of the shootouts that Ipswich lost last season. Jack Taylor, the only man featuring today who didn't miss a penalty in either of those shootouts. In fact, he missed one in both. So Schmodics to make this 1-1, stuttering run-up, really good penalty. He admitted the goalkeeper and went low into the bottom left-hand corner to make sure that Long went the wrong way. So it's 1-1, but Bromley still have a penalty in hand.
Yeah, brilliant penalty from the substitute, Sammy Schmodics. Again, looked confident. That little stutter run-up sent Long the wrong way, just nestled into the bottom left-hand corner.
So next up for Bromley is Ashley Charles. Charles missed one in the victorious playoff final shootout against Solihull, but has scored one in a shootout since. Stands hands on hips. There's a hush around Bromley and it's saved. He went to the goalkeeper's left. Walton went the right way, got his hands to it and tips it away. So it's 1-1 after 2 penalties each.
Good save, good save. I think he read it, the run-up. It looked like he was going to go to his right. Wharton's left, and Wharton went early. And if you go early, you've always got a chance. It's a good save, Christian Wharton. 1-1, equal penalties.
Ben Johnson took one and scored on each occasion in both of those shootouts last season for Ipswich. Could have had a hat-trick today. He scored a good goal and forced 2 really good saves from the goalkeeper. Can Long deny him again in the shootout? No, he can't, because Johnson committed him and he just went pretty much down the middle to score. So 2-1 to Ipswich, with both sides having missed 1 penalty each.
Confident, one of those run-ups where he just walked up to the ball, waited for the goalie Sam Long to commit and put it the other side. He's given it a little bit to the crowd behind the goal. All of them with their iPhone torches out when the Ipswich players are going to take the penalty. They didn't like it though.
Jude Arthur's scored in both of Bromley's last 2 shootouts. The only man playing tonight who did score in each of them. And he's up next for Bromley. And again, the whole place just pauses for a moment and he side-foots it into the bottom right-hand corner. Don't make a mess of it was a lone shout, or words to that effect, from one of the Bromley fans in front of us. He took it really well. Yeah. So 2-2, and here comes Ashley Young.
Yeah, he did take it really well. He's had a good game today, Jude Arthurs, as well. A real captain performance from Bromley, and he's topped it up with that penalty.
Ashley Young, the only man playing in this shootout tonight who has played in a League Cup final. And he runs up to take this penalty, and that is probably the best that we've seen so far. No chance for the goalkeeper as he's fired it almost into the top left-hand corner. So it's 3-2 Ipswich, and Odeteo, if he scores, can tie it up.
No doubt about it, Jim. That was the best penalty of the evening. Hit the net before it even touched his foot. It was an incredible strike. Confident as well. The crowd are really trying to play their part behind the goal when Ipswich players are taking it, and rightly so, they should be.
Odeteo up next. He scored his in the shootout against Cambridge last season and does so again here, sending the goalkeeper the wrong way with a brisk shot into the bottom left-hand corner. So we've had 4 penalties each. It's 3-3. We're effectively into sudden death. Here's Chaplin.
Once again, a brilliant penalty. Odeteo, confident, assured, struck it really well with his left foot into the bottom left-hand side as he's looking at it. Sent Christian Wharton the wrong way. Been some great penalties this evening.
In the League Cup defeat last season, Connor Chaplin didn't take a penalty in the shootout, even though he was on the pitch. He's going to take this, a little stutter and a really good penalty, right in front of those Bromley supporters who turn away in dismay as Ipswich convert again. And so now the pressure is on. Pinnock has to score to keep Bromley in it.
Yeah, Mitch Pinnock stepping forward, another player for Bromley. He's had a good match. Really worked tirelessly. Can he finish it off, top it off with a penalty? Connor Chaplin, another lovely penalty.
So 4-3 Ipswich, and all the pressure is on Mitch Pinnock. He spotted the ball down, the former Kilmarnock man. It's just a 2-pace run-up. The goalkeeper went the right way, but he squeezed it past him. It was the pace that beat Walton, and so it's 4 each after 5 penalties apiece, and now we're in the domain of those that really don't want to take them.
That's certainly it, yes. Every player that's stepped up so far has obviously asked to take the penalty. Now we're on number 6. Players that didn't ask to take the penalty Ali Al-Hamadi stepping up.
Missed a really good chance to win it for Ipswich in the 4th minute of stoppage time. It's the former Bromley player to put Ipswich's noses in front again. It's a central run-up and it's saved! Long dives to his left. Poor penalty. Only a couple of feet off the ground, not into the corner. Long denies the former Bromley man, and now Eiffel has the chance to win it.
Yeah, similar to the Ashley Charles one from Bromley, wasn't it? Ali Al-Hamadi, and Sam Long just went early, and if you go early, you've got a chance. It wasn't hit with much power, wasn't too far in the corner. Sam Long just went early, and it's a good save. And now this is it. You score, you win.
This is a big moment. It's Marcus Eiffel to send Bromley through. The cheer tells its own story. It is the biggest win in the club's history. Formed in the 19th century, but tonight, and only tonight, have they beaten a team in the top 3 tiers of English football. They hung on gamely for 90 minutes. They took a first-half lead, a lead that only lasted 9 minutes. It was all Ipswich from that point on. They were able just about to hang on and then kept their nerve. Eiffel with a towering moment for Bromley in their history. It's finished 1-1 and 5-4 to Bromley on penalties.
Well, Jim, thanks very much. Darren Ambrose, stay with us. What a win for Bromley, and how cool was Eiffel at the end there. He knew he had to score. He knew the opportunity was there to make history. How cool was he from the spot?
You know what, Adrian, he's probably the pick of Bromley's players throughout the game. Everything good, particularly in the first half, went through Marcus Eiffel, and I was just confident. When he stepped up, I just felt that he's had the confidence this evening. He's had a good match. If he hits it hard, low, as he did, and as you said, cool, calm, collected, and won the match for Bromley. Maybe didn't deserve it throughout the 90 minutes, but look at you see the support now. You see the joy that they've got, the supporters now. Everyone's taking the cheer from the crowd. Absolutely brilliant evening for Bromley.
What do you say about Ipswich, knocked out by Wimbledon last season in similar fashion? They've had some other cup embarrassments that we talked about pre-match, and here we go again with Ipswich Town, knocked out first round by a side from League Two.
Yep, here we go again. You're absolutely right, and there's no taking away from it. They're not having a good run, in particular in the cup games throughout the last few seasons. The only positive spin I can try and put on it, that when they lost to Maidstone a couple of years ago, they end up getting promoted, so it was kind of a blessing in disguise. But they won't feel that this evening, the Ipswich players. Kieran McKenna extremely disappointed. The travelling support of around 300 to 400, Jim said earlier, and he's absolutely right. They've stayed around, they're applauding the team off because they know they have given it full of effort, but they're just on the wrong end of a great night for Bromley.
Well, they've got a bigger challenge in terms of getting back into the Premier League. A quick word on Al-Hamadi, who came from Wimbledon, was at Bromley before, as Jim was saying in commentary. He's missed that crucial penalty. Hurst missed the first one, let's not forget, or had it saved. But Al-Hamadi kind of hasn't really settled at Ipswich. This was going to be the season for him in the Championship, but this is not good for him, and you wonder what's going to happen to him between now and the end of the window.
No, of course, and look, he missed a good opportunity right at the death as well in the 94th minute that could have won the game in normal time. Then he missed the penalty. Look, sometimes this happens. We know this. We know players this happens to. He's just got to stay confident, try and take every opportunity that comes his way. But who knows where he'll be come the end of the transfer window, and who knows what players might arrive to take his place. All he can do is, when he gets the opportunity, try to impress. Today he worked tirelessly for the team, but in front of goal it didn't quite happen for him, and that topped it off with the penalty miss at the end.
Darren, thanks very much. So Ipswich knocked out. Let me finish off the full times for you. I told you half of them earlier before the shootout at Bromley. The other half, Southampton won 1-0 here at Northampton. Mateus Fernandes, brilliant goal just after half-time. Oxford 1, Colchester 0. Plymouth 3, QPR 2. Plymouth came from 2 down. Portsmouth 1, Reading 2. That's League 1 beating Championship. Salford 0, Rotherham 0. Rotherham beating Salford 3-2 on pens. Stoke 0, Walsall 0. Stoke 1, 4-3 on penalties. Tranmere Burton was postponed because of a power outage. Watford 1, Norwich 2. West Brom 1, Derby 1. Derby 1, 3-2 on penalties. Wigan 1, Notts County 0. Wrexham 3, Hull City 3. We heard it live on talkSport. Wrexham 5-3 winners on penalties, and you just heard it at Hayes Road. Bromley 1, Ipswich 1. Bromley winning 5-4 on penalties. Just got to love the Carabao Cup early rounds where they go straight to penalties. If it's level after 90 minutes, you are guaranteed drama. Taking your calls next, it's the Sports Bar on talkSport. 03717 223344.
Your weeknight grassy knoll to grassy knees football conspiracy kick-off. Kick-off on talkSport with Ladbrokes. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Tradespeople, fixers, makers and doers of the undone. Anyone who knows their way around a toolbox. With Seeker on your side, there's no detail too small and tricky. No design too grand and no mission too impossible. With a range of products for every job and quality you can count on, nothing can stand in your way. Not even the length of this ad break. So can someone stick the tunes back on? Seeker, bring it on.
Have you ever wondered what becoming a lotto millionaire sounds like?
You want to sit down? I can confirm that you have won £1 million indeed.
That's Terry, finding out he'd won £1 million.
Oh my God.
Lotto from the National Lottery. Will you be the next millionaire? Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Oh, bad traffic. Great news, isn't it? More time in the car. Joy. Maybe you don't feel it. Maybe you don't drive a Lexus NX yet. But when you do, you'll see the positive of peak hour. The delight in a detour, the love of the long way. The Lexus NX plug-in hybrid. Experience amazing before you arrive.
Got a paintwork scratch, bumper scuff or minor dent? Want it fixed like new? Of course you do. At Chips Away, we don't judge, we just fix it. Enter a few details online for a free, no-obligation estimate. We'll come to you, or you can visit one of our car care centres. For professional, affordable car body repairs with a lifetime guarantee, visit chipsaway.co.uk. Chips Away, like it never happened.
Whatever kind of football fan you are, talkSport and the Coral Daily Download are here for it to celebrate the fans every day. Whether you're a front row seater or a prawn sandwich eater, a half-and-half scarf wearer or a lifelong faithful torchbearer, a retro shirt for every game or bare-chested, even in the rain. For all the latest news, reaction and odds this season, don't miss the Coral Daily Download. Every morning from 6 on talkSport with Coral. We're here for the fans. 18+ gambleaware.org.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave. On your mobile and on your smart speaker.
New season, 500 live games.
talkSport. On 1089 and 1053 medium wave. On your mobile
And on your smart TV. Late night sport with full throttle bottle. The only place on the dial for triple distilled, hand-poured football talk.
That's an absolute crackerjack.
Try the Sports Bar on talkSport.
All right, fans, here we go with the main event of the evening.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Record Breaking Sports. We're here on talkSport with me, your host Jason Keller, joined by the Arsenal legend that is Mr. Perry Groves.
Minus noches. Minus noches. Give me shivers.
We're going to start with Alexander Isak, who has told Newcastle that he won't play for them ever again if he doesn't get his move to Liverpool this summer. Newcastle fans, is there any way back for him if that move doesn't go through? Methinks not. Liverpool fans, you want a player like that? Or do you like I probably feel you feel? You don't care if you score goals. What do you think? 03717 223344. Elsewhere, the Carabao Cup is back and we've seen some huge results. Ipswich out, they lose on pens to League 2. Bromley, Doncaster smash Middlesbrough 4-0. And Wrexham go through on pens against Hull. And we bring you all the fallout from those games throughout the show. You've been to a game? Pick up the phone and tell us about it. 03717 223344. We've also got the midnight train. No sport, no politics, no religion, nothing too serious. That's around about midnight, as you can guess by the name of it. And we'll also be discussing the future of Palace midfielder Ibrahim Eze after Spurs join the race for his signature this summer. You know what to do. We cannot do the show without you. Pick up the phone and get involved. 03717 223344. It's the Sports Bar live here on talkSport. Good evening, Mr. Perry Groves.
Good evening.
How are you, sir?
In your short shorts.
My short shorts.
Nigel's on.
Do you know what, mate? If you can't get the shorts and legs out in a day like this, when can you? That's what I say.
I had a dilemma.
Did you?
I was thinking of the short shorts with like ginger hairy legs and whatnot.
Right.
Can I go to work in shorts? Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what?
I think it's more old school. I think I wouldn't feel quite right.
No?
No.
No, you're a bit more professional. Am I being unprofessional getting the legs out?
No, it all depends how you feel, how comfortable you are.
I do. Do you know there's a photograph, Perry, of you and me, or you might have seen it. It's obvious it's very, very old when you're at Arsenal's at Chelsea. And the shorts...
Obscene.
Oh, my God.
Obscene.
They're like the pants that Kylie Minogue had in Spinning Around.
I don't know why you did the shorts.
Yeah.
Right? I did it because I was a size 36. Right. And you couldn't be seen to be wearing 36 shorts.
Right.
So I'm doing 34s.
Right, okay.
So it was a bit of Vaseline on the inner thighs.
Was there?
Slide into the 34s.
Right. Yes.
And because I have a big...
Derriere?
Derriere, yes. So... Beyonce and the Kardashians, they owe me royalties.
Right, okay, so that's
I had the first big, and that's natural. It's all muscle.
Okay. Oh, no, I'm knocked down.
There's no collagen in there, but when you look at them, though, you just think, how did you
I know, yeah. And it was acceptable back then. It was acceptable with those shorts. However, enough of short talk. How are you, sir? You well?
Well, good. Yeah, good. I tell you, it was exciting tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, you know.
I think the penalties straight away
is
brilliant.
It's absolutely
the jeopardy.
Yeah. And you're right, because the fans don't... if you can't get past that, certainly in these rounds, obviously, you know, when you get to the semis and, you know, maybe the final, I get that, I understand it. But when you're in these rounds, if you can't get past one every 90 minutes, go straight to pens.
Yeah.
The crowd want it.
None of the players want it.
No, none of the players want it, especially...
Managers don't want it, fans don't want it, so thought the pens and Bromley taking their pens brilliantly.
Yep.
And obviously the goalkeeper, Long, saving 2.
Indeed.
And how do you think I feel getting the winning penalty?
What do you mean?
I feel.
I feel.
How do you think I feel? That's what we say after the game.
Very good.
How do you think I feel? I feel magnificent, thanks.
Well, he did. He got the winning penalty. So if you've been to a game up and down the country, 03717 223344. But the longest running saga, there's always one, isn't there? Every single summer, there's always one transfer that grabs the attention more than any other. And you know what I'm going to say, and I make no apology for saying it. Alexander Isak, from what we know, have been told that he has told Newcastle that he refuses to play for them again. Now that's a line drawn under it. I don't know how there's a way back for him. You know what football's like. There's always a way back somehow, Perry. The door never shuts completely. But I have to say, it feels as though it feels the end of the road for him at Newcastle right here, right now. But what does that mean? Because he's still a Newcastle player, and Liverpool not stumped up the money they want. It's a mess. It's a mess.
Thing is, it's right move, because he's obviously moved out, so he's probably used right move, and there are other haulage companies that are available and will move companies. The right move for him is obviously he wants to go to Liverpool. But I must say, I know players have all the power now, and when we played, we had no power. Clubs had every bit of power. You couldn't say, I want to leave, I'm going on strike, because you'd be with the cabbages and all the sheep for like 6-7 months, wouldn't you? So, but I still think that there's a right way to go about it, and he hasn't, and it just leaves a taste of a distinct lack of respect for Newcastle fans, for Eddie Howe, for the players. The players won't care. The players will be laughing. Like they'll be having, like texting or what's happening, or you still here, or you coming back, you still got your place, your boots, or whatever. They won't have a laughing joke. And if he comes back, it won't bother them.
No, it won't. I've heard this. People sometimes ask the question, how are the players going to feel in the camp?
Won't care.
You're absolutely right. They've been... Footballers they know the industry that they're in, that we were in, and it literally is you do the best that you can. Now, you're right, there is a way to go about it. The fans are the ones, their loyalty never wavers. their loyalty will be there from the moment they can breathe, the moment they stop breathing, because that's what fans do. It's their club. They're invested in it in a very, very different way. But they're not going to understand that, the Newcastle fans, are they? And I get why, because it's a kick in the teeth to them.
No, I think they'd understand it, him wanting to go to Liverpool, because it's a step up from Newcastle.
Yep.
We all know about the food chain.
Yeah.
They'd understand that he wants to be, obviously, a team that's got a chance of winning the Champions League, winning the Premier League. Let's be honest, Newcastle haven't. Newcastle, it's now their best season they could ever have now is getting in the Champions League positions, because they know that they're always going to sell their best player. And from the fans' point of view, I think now he has no legacy at Newcastle. They would see, if he'd have gone in the right way, they'd have understood it, and I still think he'd have had affection, he'd been seen as a hero, obviously scoring a goal, first trophy they've won like for 70 years, which you put your mark in history. But I think with the fans, they might be wrong, Newcastle fans are in, I think that they will just basically disown him if he leaves. But if he comes back and Newcastle dig their heels in, because we spoke off air, if there's one club that they don't need to sell him for PSR reasons, right? If there's one club that has the money, and when you're used to having loads of money and power, you don't like being told what to do. You don't like being dictated to. So it's the Newcastle owners, whether they dig their heels in and they say, you ain't going. Because now we've got a power struggle.
Yeah, there is a power struggle, and for the best of the football club right now, that's the most important thing, isn't it, Sack? It's what is the best for this football club. What Eddie Howe, and I feel for Eddie, because he's found himself in a situation where he's had 2 or 3 really good years for Newcastle, and he's won the first trophy in X amount of generation, and he finds himself in this position, and through no fault of his own, it could really have a massive detrimental impact on their season.
Very much so, because he would be in the top 3 centre forwards in the world at the moment, and he knows that he is, and he knows that his stock's very high. Let's be honest, when he came from Real Sociedad, 65 or 63 million.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
That was seen as a bit of a gamble. He didn't rip it up with Real Sociedad. I think he averaged about a goal every 2.5 games. Exactly, yeah. But he's come to Newcastle. He's adapted to the Premier League. Eddie Howe has helped make him the player that he is. The first season he had a bad hamstring injury and got 10 in 22. Second season 21 in 30. Last season 23 in 34 and the winning goal, right? So he's improved dramatically as a player.
Yeah.
But if Eddie Howe actually says there's a way to conduct yourself, and he's basically saying he sent him home from training, then he went to train at Real Sociedad, then he come back, and Eddie Howe, I said at the time, there's no way in the world that he will be training with the Newcastle players. He'll be told, if you're injured or you train, you come in early before the players are. I'll play and train with the players that want to be here, and then you can come in the afternoon and come and train on your own or get your trip, whatever it is. But he won't be around the players because of negativity. But if they dig their heels in Newcastle and he doesn't sign, Jess, there's always a way back. How many players do you know that have been on strike, come back? Carlos Tevez, we mentioned it, at Man City, been on strike. 6 months, didn't play, come back, scored loads of goals, won the title. You had Diogo Costa at Chelsea. We had Mahrez as another one. If Isak doesn't go and he comes back and he scores 3 goals in his first 3 games or 4 goals, then
I think the fans won't care.
No. Well, all football fans are fickle. How would you see it now then? There's so many different the options. How would you see this panning out?
Say that again, sorry, Piers. Sorry, mate.
How would you see this panning out?
Well, I think there's too much money in it. The fact that we're talking 110, I think if Liverpool want him, I think they're going to have to go a little bit higher, 120. I think that's probably going to be enough. Where we find ourselves right now, Newcastle might have to just say, do you know what? Let's get rid of this problem, and it is an issue and it is a problem. For 120 million pounds, let's move that problem away and we move forward as a football club. I don't see the point in keeping him right now. And Newcastle fans, we hear this often about fans saying, stick him in the reserves and let him rot. Those days are gone. They don't exist anymore.
Because they're multi-millionaires.
Right. And you don't want to have a player that's your best player sitting in the stand, devaluing every single game that goes depreciate. That's not ideal either. So I think personally, there'll be by hook or by crook, this will happen, and I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how much money, but I just think that for Newcastle, you're best off saying, do we want this hanging around over our season? Every interview that Eddie Howe's going to do if the window shuts. What's happening with this at? Where's this at? You do not want that dominating your season.
But also, if Newcastle are going to do it, they've got to do it early, because the last thing you want, you don't want this going on and on and on to the end of the transfer window, and then they don't get centre forward in. But
okay, let's head over. Andy Woodman is speaking to talkSPORT after the League Cup win over Ipswich.
Evening.
Andy, sorry, buddy. I thought. Do you know what, matey? I thought you'd been. How are you? So, by the way, congratulations.
Thank you very much. I was waiting for a bit more of a drum roll.
Well, there you go. There we go. Andy Woodman, victorious Bromley manager. Welcome to the Sports Bar here on talkSPORT.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Listen, let's talk. You played well, by the way. You took the lead, and once Ipswich got the equaliser, it felt like it was always going to penalties. And once you get the pens, mate, it's can your keeper pull off a couple of saves? He did. Can our guys put one more past than them? And that turned out to be the case. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I thought we was good for it in the 90 minutes with respect to Ipswich. I think we give a good account of ourselves and made some chances. And like you say, once it goes to penalties, you're kind of a bit relieved, really, because it probably sort of favours the underdog a little bit.
Andy, you must have been delighted with the way that your team were disciplined, because you had to defend for a bit, because Ipswich, you knew were going to have more possession than you, so you must have worked obviously during the week about your defensive shape, which I thought you was very disciplined. But also, you have to make sure that you're a threat going forward, and I thought you always had that threat on the counter.
Yeah, I mean, look, anyone that watches us, that's pretty much us. We're a counter-attacking team. We don't sort of try to be anything other than that. We're a solid team. We sort of works and gets clean sheets, and that's what we sort of pride ourselves on. At the other end of the pitch, it does help when you've got Michael Cheek in your team and scoring goals, and you're creating chances, and we've got pace and energy to burn in this team, and we're a fit team, and that really sort of shone through in times tonight, and I was really chuffed for the boys to get the rewards.
How big a win is this for Bromley in the history?
Well, yeah, without sounding sort of a bit flashy, we keep sort of having these moments. I mean, we was a non-league club a couple of years ago, and we keep having these moments. It's been a great ride we're on, and we're all enjoying it. And credit to the chairman and the people that all work here. We're all sort of pulling in the same direction, and hopefully we have a few more of these nights to come. This football club.
So on the pens, have you practiced them? Obviously. Yesterday, and if you was training this morning, and then did you get the shin pad twisters? You know, when you get your 5 and everybody, don't they, look at the shin pads, don't make eye contact with the manager because you might want to take one.
I'm not going to lie, we haven't practiced one pen. I'm not even going to lie. And what's really funny is I chose the penalties once since I've been in this football club, and we was away at Bath and we lost, and so they never let me choose them. So I've had absolutely nothing to do with the penalties at all.
So listen, you used to be a goalkeeper, Andy. Do you have any tips for your keeper, because he pulled off 2 great penalty saves?
To be fair, he's had a really good pre-season, and he's a really good young promising goalkeeper, and he's been unlucky not to start the season, and he's kept working hard, and I'm delighted for him. I just said to him, look, this is your time now, go and make those saves, and be strong and powerful when you go for them, and he did, and he was excellent. He had 2 really big saves there for us. You
mentioned obviously goalkeeper Long and Eiffel getting the winner. They have actually etched themselves now into Bromley's history.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a bit of history going on here now the last few years. Every time we win a game, someone tells me it's a bit more history. I'm not going to knock it though. We're happy to be in the next round.
And tell us about this season, because you're absolutely right. It wasn't that long ago that Bromley were non-league, and you're not on our league side. It's been meteoric in some ways. What does the future hold? What does the next 6 weeks, 6 months, and maybe 9 months hold?
Yeah, I mean, look, we've made no secret of it. We want to make the playoffs. We should have made the playoffs last year. I was devastated we didn't make it, and people thought I was crackers. But we was 4 points short, and we really should have. I really felt we let ourselves down. And that's our target this year. I want to get this football club into League One, and it's everything on the outside is being built, and it's on the up. So I'm really going to keep pushing this group of players as hard as I can.
And everybody knows, for you to progress, you need money, more for your budget. So just let us know what this means getting into the next round, and if you can get a draw with one of the big boys, what it does for you financially. Yeah,
well, listen, it's massive. I mean, last year we was lucky enough in the FA Cup to draw Newcastle away, which was a fantastic draw for the club financially, and it's it's massive for the smaller clubs. So yeah, we'll be praying we can be pulled out the hat and get a good away draw, and hopefully get some money into the football club and keep progressing everything that's going on here.
And before I let you go, the transfer window is still very much open. You mentioned Newcastle. Alexander Usyk isn't going to play for Newcastle anymore. I just wonder if you're interested.
Do you know what? If we get a big enough draw, we might have 30 quid to buy him.
Take him on loan. He's disgruntled. You go, come and enjoy your football down here, son.
Listen, we don't have no bad eggs in our club. It'd be no good for us.
Can I just ask you, Ed, just quickly, what would you do if a player did that to you? Said, do you know what? I'm not playing for you anymore. I'm not playing for Bromley unless I get my move. How would you feel as a manager of that club?
Yeah, it's really difficult, isn't it? I mean, all joking aside, at this level, you can just say, well, look, go home and we won't pay you. But at that level, I mean, they go home and they jump in their private jet and they're happy days. So I really feel for Newcastle and Eddie and the whole setup there, because he's been so good for them. But look, that's not my problem. I've got to worry about getting someone in loan for about 30 quid.
And you haven't got any problems tonight, mate. Congratulations, well
Cheers,
done,
guys.
and good luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Appreciate you.
Cheers, buddy. Andy Woodburn there, Bromley manager. They knocked Ipswich out on penalties. It was 1-1. And you heard that live on talkSPORT 2. Congratulations to them. Up next, we're going to continue taking your calls on all things Alexander Isak. 03717 223344. Newcastle fans, what do you do with him? And Liverpool fans, do you want a player like that shows if his money's right and wants to move on, as we've seen with Trent? Whatever happens in a couple of years' time, or as I think you probably don't care if he scores goals. 03717 223344.
The Sports Bar with TalkSport Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com to see all our latest sign-up offers. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Hi, I'm Jack. I got all my car parts from mymotorworld.com. They had everything I needed.
I'm Steph. I found the perfect personalised gift pack for my son. He absolutely loved it.
Hey, I'm Mark. I bought a great selection of car cleaning products. Now my car looks brand new.
And I'm Dave. I scored a fantastic deal on oil. Plus, I got free delivery because I spent over £25.
Go on, sing it then.
mymotorworld.com.
Direct Line's flexible business cover means I only pay for the cover I need. That's how it's done. Imagine if that's how everything got done. Like dominating the pub quiz.
Final question. What is the population of Mongolia?
3,537,947.
Is absolutely correct. This week's winner is none of your quizness.
Direct Line. That's how it's done. Underwritten by UK Insurance Limited.
The Suns Fantasy Football Game Dream Team is back, and we're kicking off with our big Game Week 1 prize draw. Just pick a team and you could win £5,000. With improved gameplay and free entry, it's all just sitting there like an open goal. But you've got to be in it to win it. Download the free-to-play Dream Team app today. T's and C's apply. 18 plus only.
With a Travis Perkins trade account, you open the door to big trade deals every single month, right through August. Get 900 by 600mm porcelain paving tiles in various colours from as little as £24.50 per square metre. Join the club and get this and other big trade deals this August with your trade account. Travis Perkins, doing what matters for the trade. All prices exclude VAT at 20%.
Ginger Nut John. Quiet, Paul. What are we looking for again? The Casino Hawk. He scours the internet in search of only the leading and most reputable online casinos. Only UK GC licensed sites, mine. Casino Hawk, John. After him, he'll lead us straight to welcome bonuses, free spins, and some of the most reputable casino sites in the UK. Follow that Casino Hawk. For online casino comparison reviews and unbiased recommendations, search Casino Hawks online. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Casino Hawks.
Get unbeatable coverage of the business side of the beautiful game with Simon Jordan and Tesco Mobile for Business on talkSPORT. From Southampton to the North Stand, West Ham to Easter Road. Join the most well-connected man in football for an exclusive look inside the boardroom.
This is a long way from a done deal.
Simon Jordan's business briefing on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Small business or side hustle? Get business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big mobile networks. For terms and verification, visit tescomobile.com/business.
Wednesday night, the Super Cup live on talkSPORT.
The Champions League and Europa League Champions clash. Paris Saint-Germain
versus Spurs.
Ooh la la, live coverage starts at 7 with full throttle live commentary.
Wednesday night, the Super Cup live on talkSPORT.
Sacre bleu.
They're the ones we used to wear back in the late 80s, early 90s. Listen to the Sports Bar here on talkSports Pedagogues. I'm Jason Cuddy. Still to come, we're discussing the future Palace midfielder Ibrahim Eze after Spurs joined the race for his signature to the sun. First, though, we're going to continue taking your calls on all things Alexander Isak after the striker has refused to play, apparently, for Newcastle, even if he doesn't get his move from Liverpool. What does this mean for you Newcastle fans? 03 717 223344. Apparently, he's even moved out of his home. I don't know whether that's because Newcastle fans might be knocking in this and, what are you up to? Or whether that is just another move to try and force his way down to Liverpool. Unless Liverpool paid 150 million, what on earth happens here? Now, talkSport chief football correspondent Alex Crook joined the Breakfast Show this morning, explaining the latest twist in the Isak saga.
Isak has told Newcastle he won't play for them again, even if they don't sanction a move away from Liverpool in this transfer window. Clearly, this is an alarming situation as far as Newcastle and Eddie Howe are concerned, but not a massive surprise when you look at how Isak has conducted himself over the course of the summer. Now, that is as much Eddie Howe's decision, I'm told, as it is Isak himself. Eddie Howe is a manager who puts a lot of stock in loyalty, and I've said it a few times on talkSport in the last few weeks and certainly in the last few days, that when you look at Eddie Howe's body language, his demeanour, what he's been saying about the Isak situation, I think he's hurt.
Yeah, hurt, all right, and also worried about what this could do even before a ball is kicked in anger in the Premier League. Let's go to the Lions and speak to Michael, who's a Manchester United fan. All right, Michael, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Good evening.
Hello, Michael.
You all right?
Hi, yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, I think from a football point of view, I want, we had this situation before, and there's been other players. This is a manufacturer deal. There's no way this player is worth over 100 million quid. There's only one player or two players that I can remember who's worth that sort of money. Ronaldo, Messi. This guy is nowhere near that class.
Well, that's irrelevant.
It's the modern climate. He's a centre forward who scores goals. They are in.
They've turned down 110.
So he is worth over 100 million.
But the thing I hate, the fact I feel sorry for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Because they've got the money, they can't spend it. PSR. How is the Premier League meant to be the best league in the world when clubs can't spend their money? They
a
can't
Man United
compete.
fan feeling sorry for Newcastle. A bit patronising it. I feel
No,
sorry
I'm just saying, in generally, if we're meant to have the best league, everyone should be able to spend whatever they want. If they got the money, like the Saudis have got the money, they could spend whatever they want. It makes it good for football, doesn't it? You want the best team.
Personally, yes.
Michael, I couldn't agree with you more, honestly, because it's making sure that the top six is even more difficult, virtually impossible, to break into that.
How are Newcastle ever going to challenge for a title consistently if they cannot spend their money? And every time they get in the Champions League, what they are, and they have a player, their star player being touted around by one of the biggest clubs in the world, and he acts like this. I don't know where Newcastle go from here. I don't know how they're ever going to try and challenge.
They've hit the glass ceiling.
Unless they spend the money, unless PSR rules.
Yes, they changed. They said PSR was brought in, obviously, to stop rogue owners, making clubs go to the wall. The Leeds United system, where they spent money they didn't have. There's no other business in the world where you would be stopped spending money on your own business.
No.
But the reason it's happening now is because it ring fences the team to the top, and you can't spend like your club, Chelsea. You can't spend like Man City.
No, it's changed.
But that made, Michael's right, that made the Premier League more competitive. I'm a Gooner. I want Gooner obviously to win the title. But for the Premier League, I want 6 or 7 teams to be able to win the Premier League because of the jeopardy it gives you in the season. And that's not going to happen. And Eddie Howe's frustration will be, which he knows, he has taken Newcastle as far as what they can.
It feels like it, doesn't it? It does feel like it.
They'd have to be in the Champions League 6 or 7 years on the trot to get the money in to then be able to go and spend it. Indeed. So they have to look at the PSR rules. And like feeling sorry for Newcastle.
I know what you mean. But yes, there is a certain amount of, if that was Chelsea or Arsenal, you think, why can't we go and spend that money out? And Villa are very similar, some kind of position. Let's go back to the lines. Let's go and speak to Scotty, who's a Liverpool fan. All right, Scott.
How you going, guys? You all right?
Hello, Scott.
All right, matey. How are you feeling about the scenario with this act?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm actually going to side with the players, to be honest, because the clubs are always, I say always, but a lot of the time they're quite happy to move on players without the player wanting to go, right? We're seeing it now, Rasmus Højlund at United. He wants to stay and fight, but United want to sell him. He ain't got a choice, and they'll take a hit on him. We've seen it before with others as well. So for me, it was Andy Carroll when he came to us. He didn't want to leave Newcastle when the whole Torres Carroll thing. He's spoken about it numerous times, Andy Carroll. He had no choice. They wanted the money. So why is it that the players now the one in the wrong? At the end of the day, the clubs will happily get rid of these players. So I don't think it's very fair.
Would you feel the same?
And not to mention, he's going to get 140 million for Newcastle. People might say about Trent and Liverpool fans and what we were saying. He was a local lad, and he went on a free. We didn't get any money. Isaac's Swedish, and he's about to get his club 140 million. A record.
Did you think that Trent did the right thing?
No, I don't.
Hold on, no, you just contradict yourself.
He gaslighted us fans.
No, you've just contradicted yourself because you just said that the clubs want to get rid of players. They have no choice.
Yep.
So Liverpool will get rid of players that they didn't want anymore. They didn't say surplus to requirements.
We wanted Trent.
But now you're saying no. But now you're saying that players can do what they want because clubs do it to them. But you're saying because it's your club,
I'm saying
it's
players
wrong.
Shouldn't get all the blame. I'm saying they shouldn't get all the blame.
Why did you blame Trent Alexander-Arnold then?
Say that again.
Why did you blame Trent Alexander-Arnold? Because his contract ran out.
Because he gaslighted us fans by not coming out saying. He said to us the season before he left that he was going to go to Madrid and all the rest of it. We would have happily accepted that. Don't lead us on, pretend you're going to sign a contract and all the rest of it, then leave on a free.
Well, no.
He's been learning Spanish for 2 years.
Yeah, but
He's learning Spanish for 2
good for
years.
him.
So don't come out and say he only made a decision over the summer.
Yeah, but you're contradicting yourself. You're saying that players can do what they want because clubs do what they want to them, but you're saying, but not Trent Alexander-Arnold.
I'm saying they shouldn't get all the blame.
Well, don't blame Trent Alexander-Arnold then.
We're seeing it now with Rasmus Højlund.
Yeah, but he can stay.
Andy Carroll.
No, but Rasmus Højlund can stay. If he says, no, I'm going to stay...
Exactly, he doesn't want to go, but United trying to get him to go, I think, to AC Milan, right? He's already come out saying he doesn't want to go.
But he can stay and fight for his place, because he'll have a 3 or 4 year contract.
Well, we don't know that. You don't know that. We don't know that. It looks like they want rid of him. And as I say, the one to go to all this is Andy Carroll. He's spoken about it 3 or 4 times in the last 10, 15 years, or whatever it was. He did not want to leave Newcastle. He just bought a house.
Right.
He did not want to leave Newcastle. He was happy to sign a new contract, but Newcastle wanted the money.
Michael, so
he was forced out. He was forced out.
Take a breath. Isaac comes to you, right? Yeah. And it's the food chain, because Liverpool are further up the food chain. We all know that, right? Which is fair enough. Yeah. So when he's at yours, and Real Madrid, like Trent Alexander-Arnold's gone, is above the food chain than Liverpool.
Why is Real Madrid going to come in for Isaac? He'll be 29 in 2 years, 3 years. Why are they going to come in for a 29-year-old?
Because they're not bothered about selling him.
Isaac's peak years is right now, hence why he wants to go to the best team in England.
Real Madrid aren't bothered about sell-ons. They're bothered about 2 or 3 or 4 years, right? So Isaac has 2 good seasons for you, right? And you win the title, and he goes, Real Madrid in for me.
Then we win the title, we win the Champions League, and the rest of it.
I'm going on strike. I don't want to play for Liverpool anymore. You would understand that.
Okay, but you're saying as if I've not seen this before. I've seen it with Mascherano, I've seen it with Coutinho, I've seen it with Sterling, I've seen it with Torres.
So you understand it?
Like you say, it's the food chain. It happens. But what I'm saying is you can't always just blame the player, because as we've seen with other players, when they've wanted to stay and fight for their place, they've had no choice, and their clubs have pushed them on. And we're seeing it currently right now, as I said to you. I can't keep going around in circles on it. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, like you say, I agree with you, Perry. There is a food chain. Okay, and obviously Isaac knows he's 26. The next 2-3 years, that's his best peak time. That's his career's best, and we're going to have it. Perfect. He wants to go to Madrid at 29. Good luck to him, but I don't think they'll come in for him at 29 anyway.
I just wonder whether this also feels as though is he being priced out of a move? You know, 110 million pounds. You know, what is a player worth? He's worth whatever a club's prepared to pay, right?
Yeah, but also what we've said is that Newcastle can't spend their money, right, for the PSR rule. Yeah. But they don't need them. They're one of the few clubs in the world that don't need the money. So they could, this power, they could dig their heels in and say, we're not going to be dictated to.
When does that work, digging heels in to prove a point?
But Isaac, if he stays at Newcastle, he's not going to play.
No. I just wonder whether this is a terrible situation Newcastle found themselves in. But I genuinely feel the only way out of it is to get his move him on.
The thing is, it's a little bit self-inflicted, because he was told he was going to have a new contract. He's only on 120 grand. Quite rightly, he wants 200 grand a week. That's what
if they've just turned down 110 million pounds, why haven't they given him a contract that replicates that or reflects that in his wages?
Yeah, because they had a sport director, Paul Mitchell, that went in and went, no, he's got 4 years left. Right. We don't have to give you that. Right. So then that's kept in his head. Yeah. But I still think, I disagree with Michael completely, there's still a way that you can conduct yourself.
No, of course, but I still think, Michael does have a point about you can control your own destiny. If a club wants you out, they can ostracise you.
Right, yeah, but he turned against Trent Alexander-Arnold.
No, of course, that's where you're right. He's a hypocrite.
Himself.
That's where he is a hypocrite.
Exactly.
I agree with that. Let's go and speak to James, who was a Newcastle fan. All right, Jimbo. James, welcome to the show.
Thanks very much. Thanks for having me.
Hello, James.
Calling straight through.
Oh, excellent stuff. Maybe it's your lucky day.
Well, all I wanted to say was around the Isak situation. It's a terrible one for Newcastle, but I do think at this point, I agree with what you said. We need to start thinking about conceding. I mean, at this point, it's making us look equally as embarrassing as the situation itself. We had a good offer on the table. We could have taken it. We could have used it wisely. Isak has clearly made his bed very clear. I think Newcastle are stuck between a rock and a hard place in this situation, because I get they're trying to make a point of not being the club that bends over for the players' requests by throwing the toys out of the pram a bit, but at the same time we are doing it in a way that's not conducting ourselves in a good light at all, if I'm being honest.
Do you think, let me ask you this then, James, because I think that offer's on the table, right? Then Liverpool apparently have said, look, we're not going to make an improved offer. Newcastle in that time were probably trying to say, right, if we can get someone in, we can negotiate with Liverpool. But the problem you've had, you've not been in that position where someone has filled potentially the boots that Isak's going to leave. And
I agree, and I think that's double-folding what I'm saying, which is we clearly have got some internal issues, and I don't think that as many callers as call in, as many times we speak about it, I don't think we know half the truth of what's going on inside Newcastle at the moment. I think there's bigger issues at board level where we are not in a position to have talks with players that want bright futures, and clearly the conversations aren't painting a good picture, aren't making people want to join us. I'm a level-headed Newcastle fan. I mean, I haven't got the accent to back it up, but look, I appreciate the fact that we've come away from being a regular relegation battle team. I'm happy with where we are. I don't think we're going to be pushing for Premier League titles anytime soon. I don't think we're going to be pushing for Champions League football trophies anytime soon. But to see us where we are now, I'm really proud. And I think fans should remember where we've come from.
James, did the thing not worry you, though, with your manager, Eddie Howe, that his frustration is, I've taken Newcastle as far as I can take them? Because he knows that, as you said there, you can't attract the players. And the problem you have now as well with Isak is, you need to get a centre-forward in before he goes. If you're going to do it, you've got to do it very quickly. But then if you get a centre-forward in before he's going to be sold, Liverpool then sit there and go, actually, you've got to sell him. We don't need to increase that £110 million offer. So it's a very, very difficult situation that the club's in.
It is a very difficult situation, but if we're not careful, I think the situation is only going to ostracise the price further. And in fact, we've got a situation where if we end up stuck with him for a year in this situation, I don't see his value going up.
No, and also, I tell you what, the best for everyone, and it's going to be hard for Newcastle fans to take, is to move him on. And you're right.
I wholeheartedly agree.
I think that, and there has to be a moment where everyone sits around the table and says, right, let's resolve this, because can you imagine that, when that window shuts, if Alexander Isak is a Newcastle player, that 6 months going into January is going to be hell for Newcastle. It's going to be murder for Eddie Howe, because actually, you think about it, the transfer window opens on the 1st of Jan. Around about 6-7 weeks' time, the conversation starts again, because we start creeping into November. And all of a sudden, the window's open in 2 months. And that, I just feel, if you can cut the umbilical cord now, separate now, do the best for both. It'll be the best for Newcastle, it's the best for Isak, and the best for Liverpool. And I think everyone just needs to bang their heads together.
But also, though, if Newcastle dig their heels in because the owners don't need the money and they don't want to be told what to do, right? If Isak,
they bite the nose off despite.
No, but if Isak comes
what's
back,
the good of that though? Where's Isak going to get them, Perry?
If Isak comes back, and I said before, if he scores 3 goals, first 3 games, 4 goals, Newcastle fans won't be happy at first. Then they'll be okay, and Eddie Howe will think, "I'll deal with that again in January."
I just think there'd be a cloud. I don't know. I don't know what that. I don't know how we see the best of Isak, and it won't take that long for Newcastle fans. What if he doesn't score? What if 3 games in he ain't scored?
Well, then he'll get the stick that he deserves.
Yeah, fine, but then how does anyone win from Newcastle?
Yeah, but Isak if he comes back, right, and he doesn't go, he's not going to sulk and say, I ain't playing, because he needs to keep his stock high, so he still needs to keep scoring goals.
I'm not saying he doesn't, but I just feel as though that, I don't know. I just think now is the time to do it. The window, what have we done? 19 days left? Come on, 19 days, less than 2 weeks, less than 3 weeks now. Get this deal done somehow.
We sounded like Jimmy James and the Vagabonds there. Now is the time
feels like
get things right.
Get it done. Get it moving on. What do you think, Newcastle fans and Liverpool fans? 03717223344. You are listening to the Sports Bar here with TalkSport Bet. Download the new TalkSport betting app today. 18 plus, begambleaware.com.
The Sports Bar with TalkSport Bet. From weekly broadcast boosts to lucky dips and brilliant bet builders. Bring it on at talksportbet.com. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Vodafone's new customer service is a little bit different. It's called Just Ask Once. Message them on the Vodafone app. You deal with one person and they keep you updated until it's sorted. So you can get on with your day. Walkies it is then. Just Ask Once. Customer service made easy from Vodafone, the nation's network.
Available via your My Vodafone app. Messaging service only. Exclusions apply. Vodafone UK, supporting the nation since 1984. More details, vodafone.co.uk/network.
You've reached the final level. The Spicy McNuggets side mission. Maximum flavour, crispy crunch, and a spicy dip with a kick. Are you ready? Spicy McNuggets, for a limited time only. Until the 9th of September 25. Fees apply to delivery. Participation and price may vary. Subject to availability. Serving times apply.
Have you ever wondered what becoming a lotto millionaire sounds like?
You want to sit down? I can confirm that you have won £1 million indeed.
That's Terry, finding out he'd won £1 million.
Oh my God.
Lotto from the National Lottery. Will you be the next millionaire? Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Are you feeling more fulfilled now that you're back to work? This Friday? No. I need a vacation. See the movie that critics are saying is an awesome. Look at that. Crowd-pleasing, fist-pumping, all-out brawl of a film. You're right about that.
They're coming after our family. Go fix this.
Oh my. Nobody 2 in cinemas Friday. Book tickets now.
With LV, I can get my home insurance from just £179. They've made it easy for me to get a great price. And their 24/7 emergency helpline lets me look after what matters to me. Because insurance is simple when it's me and LV.
No wonder we're rated excellent on Trustpilot. Get your quote today at lv.com. 10% of new customers paid £179 or less November 2024 to April 2025. LV General Insurance is part of Allianz.
Welcome to Paris Pizzeria. Your blind date is already at the table, and there she is. Cousin Brenda, what are you doing here? You're married anyway.
Substitution brought to you by Paddy Power. Cousin Brenda makes way for Beth, the office crush.
Oh, get in! You might not always pick the right starter, but your sub can still deliver. Because with Paddy's Super Sub, your bet rolls over to the player coming on. Paddy Power. Valid on selected leagues and markets only. Pre-match and in-play bets on qualifying player outcome selections only. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
The nation's favourite notorious nightcap. Football fans and free nuts at the Sports Bar.
Now is the time to set things right.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
That's the voice of Perry Groves. I'm Jason Gunning. You are listening to the Sportswear on TalkSport. Still to come, we'll be discussing the future. Crystal Palace midfielder Ibrahim Eze. Spurs are interested and Arsenal interested. Surely there's only one place to go. That's Arsenal, isn't it? 03717223334. We're going to continue taking your calls on Alexander Isak and the decision that he has made. And as a footballer, you've got to take care of your own business sometimes. Sometimes you have to force a move. You've got to do what you can. I was just chatting to Perry in the break. Perry was saying he doesn't want people to think he's a... I can't say what Perry said.
I would...
Right? He would think ill of you.
Yes.
But also, we don't know the whole scenario, the whole story of what the conversation between Isak and the previous owner, or the previous regime and this regime. And, you know, unless you're privy to everything, all we can do is come up with an opinion based on what we know. We probably don't know all of it, as the previous caller made. The former Aston Villa striker Gabriel Bonahor joined the breakfast show this morning, had his say on the Isak situation.
Who does he think he is, by the way?
Correct.
Like,
Correct.
Listen, I can't banter with Newcastle, but like, who do you think you are, mate?
Correct, Nick.
Who do you think you are?
Has that been released? That's Crookie
Yeah, it's been confirmed. Like, wow, who do you think you are?
That's exactly what I am.
Disgusting. What that club's done for you.
And by the way, have a think about
Jesus.
this. Have a think about this. If you're Liverpool, or you're Liverpool fans, is that the kind of person you want to be signing?
Real Madrid want him in 2 years when he's 27. He'll do the same to you.
Of course he will.
Basically what we just said. That's the first time I've heard that. But you know what? I don't think Liverpool fans will care. Honestly, I don't. If he comes in and scores goals, footballers, some have got better reputation than others. If this comes at Liverpool and, wins the Premier League and the Champions League, they're going to care.
I know Koisty and Abby saying, who do you think you are, right? But he knows he's in the top 3 centre-forwards in the world. Centre-forwards are at a premium. He's probably got a little bit of the ump if it's to be reported that he was offered a contract. Sorry, he was told he was going to get a new contract, and then they reneged on it, and he's only on 120 grand a week. And footballers talk, don't they? And he knows that his worth is 220, 230 grand a week, right? But I still think that you should show more respect. Because I know Gabby said there that Newcastle made who he is, but he's actually made himself the level that he's at because he's taken on the information that he's got from Eddie Howe, how to be a better player. All Newcastle fans will tell you that as a centre-forward, his work ethic was exemplary. He would press, when he would track back, he would go wide, he'd go left. On the pitch, none at all. But I wouldn't want to be completely tainted by the club that I'd been at. You know what I mean? Because if it had left Newcastle in the right way and said, look, I want to go, and they let him go, he'd still have a legacy at Newcastle. He has nothing. He doesn't care because in his head he'll probably think, I'm never going to go back to Newcastle again. I will go, obviously, when I play against them. They'll boo me. I'll be the pantomime villain.
So now he's forcing his way out the only way that he can. I ain't going to play for you. I remember William Gallas, pretty sure he said to Jose Mourinho, if you play me, I'll score an own goal. So it's
taking it to
another level.
That's allegedly, by the way.
Allegedly, indeed. Let's go and back, Lorenz. Let's go and speak to Paul's a Man City fan. Right, Paul?
Good evening, fellas.
Good evening.
Hello, Paul.
Thanks for the call, bud. What do you want to say?
Yeah, how you doing?
Good. What do you want to say about Isak?
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, there's I don't want to bore you to death tonight, but there's 3 sports involved. Starting off with Isak. Allegedly, he has sold his house in Newcastle, started whining about, said, I want out, and this, that, and the other. Well, that's the case. He's out, so shut the dummy at him. The guy's obviously got an issue with Newcastle. He wants out. He's training on his own. Just get rid of him. Just get rid of him. Just get what you can for him.
But the thing is, the problem they have now is, because there'd have been talks between Isak's people and Liverpool, right? And he hasn't put a transfer request in because you lose.
Should do now.
Yeah, but you lose your side.
I know, but he should just put a transfer.
That's the next step, isn't it?
He's well within his rights to do that. Wanting to leave a football club, that is not a crime.
No,
and it's not illegal.
But it's still a way to do it.
Yeah.
But the problem they have now is because he's caused all these problems, Liverpool now know that they don't have to go above at the minute. Is 110 million. Yeah. That's it. They don't have to go above that.
Did they want 150 million?
That was what, was reported, 150.
No, but they're not going to pay 150 million now, are they?
Probably
not. They paid 110 for Wirtz from Leverkusen.
I don't think they're going to go 150 million.
But you know, on the prices, who do you think's worth more money? Isak or Wirtz?
Isak. Absolutely.
So they've paid. So basically, if you paid 110 for him, then Isak
doesn't
is
Premier League.
120, 105, and he's exactly.
Thanks for the call. Go on in, Paul.
What's Haaland worth?
Yeah, I know, but that's slightly different, wasn't it? Because he had a buyout clause.
Well, what's he worth now?
Oh well, I mean, he's around that price, isn't he? You're talking 100, similar, 130. Yeah.
But the thing is, the difference is because Man City weren't shackled by the PSR rules, they've give Haaland straight away. He's on probably 400, 450 grand a week. So they keep him happy, and they know they've got him for another 2 years. But Newcastle can't afford to do that.
Well, thanks very much for the call. We're going to continue taking calls on Isak straight after the break. Let's have a quick chat with Perry about Ibrahimovic Eze. Rumour today that Spurs have entered the race. Your club, Arsenal, have been interested in. Listen to Drive earlier saying which is the best move for him, Arsenal or Spurs.
It's not a conversation.
I totally agree with you, but it was.
Oh, it's a conversation.
Yeah.
But
No, it's not a conversation.
It is and it isn't.
It's only Arsenal.
Yes.
Spurs don't even. They can't even touch the sides.
No.
There's no way you can think about him going to Spurs. I don't see that.
The only way he'll go to Spurs is if Arsenal don't come in for him. But I think with Arsenal, we have to get rid of players first because the amount of money we spend. Some players. So again, you don't know how the conversation's going because every player gets tapped up.
Yep.
They're people to clubs people, and he might have been told, just sit tight a little bit. We've got to get players out before we get you in. If there's a choice, it will be us because obviously we've got chances of winning the Premier League, chances of winning the Champions League. Spurs haven't. And also, talk about wages. It's been well documented that Spurs don't pay.
But Goldstein was making the point on Drive today, saying that Eze will have more game time at Spurs than he will at Arsenal. That was his argument was based around that, saying that he felt that would be a better move in the World Cup year, that he had more minutes.
No, because if you really rate yourself, you go, no, I'm going to go and test myself at the best players I can, because he knows he can play left side, he can play as a 10, he can play right side. So he would be thinking, I'm going to have to get in that team. And as an Arsenal fan, I think he takes you to just a different level, because when teams sit deep, he gives you that bit of balance, that glide, that imagination, you know what I mean? That sort of flair that we've been missing.
Keep the calls coming, gang. I'd love to know what Palace fans think about this. Is also, he's another name that's been linked with a move away in the last 24 hours. And Liverpool back sniffing around again. 35 million, I believe. 03717223344. This is the Sports Bar on talkSport. talkSport Bet. Download the new talkSport betting app today. 18 plus. Be gambling world.
Sports Bar with talkSport Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com for exclusive offers and bonuses. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
If an Audi's on your mind this summer, now's the time. With attractive offers across the range when you order a new Audi by the 31st of August and take delivery by the 31st of December. Start your search at audi.co.uk or visit your local Audi centre. Audi. Vorsprung durch Technik. Terms and conditions apply. Retail customers and participating Audi centres only.
And the 2025 Online Casino of the Year award goes to BetMGM.
That's how we do it in Vegas, baby. Sign up now to BetMGM Casino. Play £10 and get 200 free spins. Why would you play anywhere else? BetMGM. If it ain't us, it ain't Vegas.
Minimum £10 spent. New customers only. Wagering requirements and conditions apply. Awarded at EMEA Global Gaming Awards. 18 plus. Please gamble responsibly.
Turn on NordVPN. It will help you avoid digital threats and will encrypt your online traffic too. Visit nordvpn.com now. NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day.
Vodafone's new customer service is a little bit different. It's called Just Ask Once. Message them on the Vodafone app. You deal with one person and they keep you updated until it's sorted. So you can get on with your day. Walkies it is then. Just Ask Once. Customer service made easy from Vodafone, the nation's network.
Available via your My Vodafone app. Messaging service only. Exclusions apply. Vodafone UK, supporting the nation since 1984. More details, vodafone.co.uk/network.
This season, LiveScore Bet is bringing you more ways to win with our weekly promotions. No goal, no problem. VAR payout to the rescue. Leading at the break, celebrate your ACCA early with halftime heroes. 2 goals ahead, cha-ching, rest easy and enjoy the game courtesy of 2UP. Celebrate every goal, every twist and turn this season with LiveScore Bet, bringing you more ways to win. LiveScore Bet, total betting. Eligible leagues and markets vary. Full T's and C's apply. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave. Online, on your mobile, on the app, and on your smart speaker. New season, 500 live games. Talk Sport. Talk Sport.
Good evening, you're listening to the Sports Bar here on talkSport. Perry Groves and Jason Kelly taking your calls, all things Isaac and Ibrahim Eze. Where should he go? What's the best move for him? And should Newcastle just get rid of the problem they've got? 03717 223344. That's coming up now from Moving Sports Headlines with Umagura.
Thank you, Jason. It must feel like blow after blow for Crystal Palace right now. A failed European appeal, and now two of their key players could be out the door. Liverpool have held exploratory talks with Palace over Mark Gahey, we understand, and Arsenal and Spurs are now desperately fighting out for Eberechi Eze. But ex-England forward Darren Bent is surprised by one thing.
And look at all the talent that he's got, Eze, and he is such a talented footballer. I think go both ways, can score goals, is great to watch. Surely you think there'd be more clubs in than just Arsenal and Spurs. I'm talking about across Europe, because I think that's how good I think he is.
Meanwhile, Frank by name and Frank by nature. It seems Thomas Frank won't be tolerating any Tottenham tardiness. Yves Bissouma has been left out of the Spurs squad for the Super Cup tomorrow after turning up late to a number of training sessions. TalkSport Scott Minto's not impressed at all.
Can't defend him in any way whatsoever. He's 29 as well in a couple of weeks. Not as if he's 19 in a couple of weeks. You know, when is the penny going to drop? He's had some misdemeanours in the last couple of years. Get your head right. It's the start of a new era. Be part of it. I don't get it. I really don't.
Spurs versus PSG in the Super Cup is live on TalkSport tomorrow night. Elsewhere, Newcastle have completed a deal for Malik Thiaw to become their third signing of the summer. He joins from AC Milan and will wear shirt number 12 for the Magpies this season. And the first round of the Carabao Cup kicked off tonight live on TalkSport. Ipswich are out after being beaten by League Two side Bromley on penalties, and Wrexham are through, having come from 3-1 down against Hull to then beat them on penalties. Head to talksport.com for all the results from the first round.
TalkSport News.
There's pressure on our water supplies as the heatwave continues, with drought having already been declared in 5 areas. And an American woman behind a failed assassination attempt in Birmingham has been found guilty of conspiracy to murder. I'll have more in an hour.
TalkSport weather with QuickFit. With a huge range of premium brands available, we've got what you need to drive away happy every time. Visit your local centre or quickfit.com and book today.
It's mostly dry this evening with clear spells. Showers in the north of England will gradually ease, although Scotland could see a few develop overnight.
TalkSport on DAB, on the app, on YouTube, and on your smart TV.
Double trouble, after whistle arguments, and filter-free football talk.
Absolutely extraordinary.
The nation's favourite air-conditioned late-night sports speakeasy.
What a bit of skill.
The Sports Bar on talkSport.
Thank you very much for the company. The new headsets that we've got here, so I had to go to the toilet, right? So the new headsets, they're very different from the ones that we used to use. So we don't wear cans.
Pods.
We're earpod things. They just go here. And I couldn't find the lead that goes into.
Have a panic up?
Well, not really. I mean, the music was playing. I mean, I was, can't do the show without me, can they? I suppose you could. Perry Groves has got the spoof. Anyway, welcome. Thank you very much. Just these, problems you have when you're broadcasting for a brand new studio. Perry, what do you think of it, by the way?
Studio
doesn't look great.
Yeah, it does. It's makes people a bit like a newsreader.
Yes, well, we are. Yes, it's a proper technical.
We used to, before being able to wear what you like.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So you're like a newsreader because they can wear shorts underneath the desk.
Yes,
you never know what they got on with it, like a suit and tie.
I've had a shave today as well, so you've got to make sure it goes out on social media.
Yeah, so it's more visual now than actually just being in a little room.
Yes. If you want to know what it looks like, go to the TalkSport YouTube channel. That's exactly what we are talking about. Well, we're going to continue taking your calls on Alexander Isak and also Ibrahim Eze. I'd love to know what Crystal Palace fans feel about it. It's surprising that this hasn't happened before. But it would appear that his future lies elsewhere in North London somewhere. Don't know if it's the red side or the white side. 03717 223344. Let's go and speak to Andy, who is a Newcastle United fan. Andy, good evening, and thanks for phoning.
How you doing, fellas?
Hello, Andy. Very well, bud. What do you want to say?
Let me tell you a couple of things first. Number one, everybody's saying, how Isak's behaviour's not great. I wouldn't be delighted if we signed with that because he's done a similar thing. But my main point is, right, have we heard any audio from Alexander Isak himself? And if not, we know why, don't we? And just let me say my second thing as well. If the window closes and Isak hasn't left, you know what he's going to do? Because he's got a World Cup to play for, he's going to say, Newcastle fans, listen to me. This wasn't me. This was my agent telling me what to do. He made promises and he's failed on those promises. And now I love Newcastle United again.
Yeah, but the thing is, your agent telling you what to do and you actually doing it are two different things, because the agent works for you. This is the problem that a lot of players have these days, is that they don't actually think for themselves. But
I would agree with that if Isak wasn't already on a 3-year contract.
Yeah, but they reportedly offered him a wage rise, which he should have got, because he knows that he's worth 250 grand a week and he's only on 120. So the reports are that they reneged that, so that gave him a bit of the ump. So in his head, he
but that was Paul Mitchell's fault, not Alexander Isak. Now, and Amanda Staveley, I'll tell you the biggest problem Newcastle United have at the moment is recruitment. Amanda Staveley, right, and Daniel Ashworth, when they were there, we signed the likes of Tonali, we signed the likes of Gamores, we signed the likes of
Isak.
You know, players like that. Yeah, Isak. Now, since they've gone, apart from Lewis Hall, right, and Alanga now, who have we actually paid for? Who have we actually... We've signed this fella from Inter Milan now, AC Milan now, this week. But apart from them, in a 3-year period, after those guys have left and Paul Mitchell was in charge, who have we actually paid for? Lloyd Kelly was on a free. We've got a guy called, is it Antonio Cadera? He's come on a free, right? We haven't paid for him. There's a couple of guys, I think, from Tbilisi who we've signed, who's on a free.
So go on. What's the point? What's the point you're trying to make? Are you trying to say that the club's ambitions haven't matched Isak's, and that's one of the reasons he wants to leave?
Partly, but I think because the Saudis haven't, I don't know whether they haven't bothered, but they haven't attempted to quickly get a recruitment team in that can offer the project that we want to players. I mean, you look, right, how long has it taken for James Trafford to try and come to Newcastle United? That was about 18 months, wasn't it, right? And he ended up going to Man City because Man City had a buyout clause. They were watching. Newcastle offered 30 million. Yeah, all right, we'll match that because we've got a buyout clause. Mark Gahey, that was the whole summer and the whole whatever it was last year. We offered 65 million, right? He's down for 40 million now, right? So that is all down to Paul Mitchell's lack of foresight and also the lack of a recruitment team who could, make promises to people who would then come to the club and make Newcastle United where they should be now, and that's why we're failing now.
And do you think, on that scale, what you're talking about, because the Saudis, with the amount of money that they have, are used to getting their own way in everything, do you think they might have lost a bit of interest in Newcastle?
Well, I think they're getting everything in boxing, aren't they? They're getting everything in golf. There's no competition there. There's competition in the Premier League, and I'll tell you what. I'll ask you a very interesting question here, which I'm not sure anyone would come, with a decent answer. If people says, right, all 20 Premier League teams are going to say, damn the PSR, we are all going to break the rules and do that. So, if that's the case, who does the Premier League penalise? If all 20 clubs say, we are going to spend what we've got, right? We are going to spend what we've got.
Andy, but they're not.
They cannot penalise all 20 clubs.
No, but Andy, they're not going to do it.
Here comes the laughing stock.
Andy, they're not going to do it because the clubs that can spend the money, the Manchester Uniteds, the Arsenals, the Liverpools,
they won't break.
They won't. They'll think, no, we want PSR because it safeguards them. It gives them more chance of being dominant.
But you know where I'm coming from, don't you?
No, it does. But
it's never going to happen.
Perry's right.
Perry's right. It's not going to happen.
Because at the top, because I think they have to have the full.
Why would Liverpool break PSR? Why would they want to do that to help Newcastle?
No, they wouldn't do it to help Newcastle. They do it to help themselves.
But they don't need.
No, they don't need to. It's ring fence at the top.
Newcastle United, with the money they've got, they don't need to. They don't need to.
Don't need to do.
You can't spend the money. You can't spend the money that you have. That's the point. So
that is because of the rules.
Yes.
But if the Saudis pushed the button and said, we don't care about the rules,
maybe they,
whatever deductions we get, we've got the money to counteract that.
Right. Well, I mean,
but then you get points deductions. Then you're not going to win the Premier League, are you?
That's. You need to be very careful with that, because it's all well and good if all 20 clubs got together, but that's not going to happen. Perry's right. Why would Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United, City? Look at Manchester United, right? Look what they've just gone out and done. Newcastle can't do that. They don't. You don't have the deep pockets like Manchester United do.
No, you can't at the moment. No.
Well, I feel for you. Because I'm with you, I agree. PSR is a joke. It's not fit for purpose, and that the clubs like Newcastle and Aston Villa, by the way, they don't get mentioned.
Yeah,
they're a club that can go and spend money.
I agree with Aston Villa. I mean, I think they're in a position. Their manager has taken them a long way. They're almost, well, you could probably even say they are where we are.
Very serious.
They are being restricted. And I don't think any club should be restricted from being capable
if you have the money,
reaching the tower.
You should be allowed to spend it. 100%.
Let's go and speak to Paul, who's a Southampton fan. Good evening, Paul.
Hello, Paul.
Hello, guys. You all right?
Yeah, very well. P-Dog.
The old Ginger Widder's doing well at the minute for you, Paul, isn't he?
Oh, do you know what? First game, mate, I was on the edge of my seat, mate. I've never watched such a nerve-wracking game in my life.
Was you Will still out?
Newcastle.
Will still out.
I think these Premier League players that get paid over $100,000 a week need to be taught a lesson, mate. Sit him on the bench, don't let him play. Same as Basuma, mate. If you're not happy with the contract you signed, you shouldn't have signed it. End of.
Yeah, but the only thing is, Paul, you're talking about at the top level. These players are multi.
Newcastle want to be at the top level, bro. Don't they? It's only PSR.
So what would you do?
Yes.
Well, let me ask you this, right? You're in charge of Newcastle. How would you treat Isak? What would your decisions be? Say again?
I'll sit him on the bench all season.
Right, and how's that going to help?
You still got to pay his wages.
Well, yeah, and Newcastle don't worry about £150,000 a week, do they?
What are you proving? What battle are you trying to fight here? What battle are you going to... No one wins. You're not going to win.
So you have one of the best centre-forwards in the world.
You've got to start proving that these players are not bigger than the clubs themselves.
Paul, right.
You're always going to be spending more and more money every year. Yeah, look at the transfers this year, mate. Out of the players that are going for the money they are, ain't worth it, mate.
No, but they are, because that's what someone's prepared to pay for it. No, you're worth what someone's prepared to pay for you.
Look at Grealish, mate. What a ruined career he's had. As much as I don't like the bloke personally,
why was he personally?
Do you know him?
Is he a noisy neighbour or something?
No, to be a ruined career, I don't think it's quite a ruined career. The boy hasn't done bad.
He won the treble at Manchester City.
Yeah, he did, mate, but he didn't. It's a team game, isn't it? But he ain't shone like the rest of them, mate, is he? He's not going to be remembered like the rest of them.
I'm not sure that's true.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I don't.
At Man City,
Aguero and Silva and...
No, I don't think... I think you're right. I don't think he's in that level, but for him going to Man City and winning the treble and being an important part in that season, and he did improve, and we saw a bit of the old Jack Grealish. He did all right. The last 2 seasons, he's fallen out of favour with Pep Guardiola. He hasn't looked the Jack Grealish where he's playing like a free spirit. Now he's got a chance to go to Everton and be the main man like he was at Aston Villa.
Yeah, but listen, bro, why didn't he go back to Villa? He's a legend there. Why didn't Villa take him?
But Unai Emery might not have wanted him. He might not have thought that Jack Grealish fits the way that he wants to play.
Yeah.
I
just think that the more we go on with these player wages and the more we go on with the player demand, look at this season, mate. What you got? 3 players at the moment, all not playing for their clubs.
Yeah, but it's because the transfer window.
Even Southampton's got Diblin on the bench in the reserves playing separate, mate.
Yeah, well, he's no good there. He's best off. But will he move?
He's too good for Southampton. That's why.
Yeah, that's the truth. Thanks for the call. We got some breaking news here at talkSPORT. talkSPORT understands that Newcastle United are readying a move for Aston Villa midfielder Jacob Ramsey. We just spoke there about PS. Oh, clearly that's not an issue for the moment. Villa reportedly open to selling him to satisfy PSR for them. We're going to continue taking calls in Isak and Ibrich Eze 03717223344. You are listening to Sports Bar here on talkSPORT. Down
The Sports Bar with TalkSport Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com for all the latest odds and offers. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
The satisfaction of a perfectly installed soft close drawer. The joy of your first hot shower since the boiler was fixed. And that's the sound of another glowing customer review, because Checkatrade approved tradespeople score on average 9 out of 10. From plumbing to roofing to electrics, download the app. Checkatrade, a job done right.
Checkatrade.com.
9 out of 10 customer rating based on average reviews in 2024.
Looking for a diamond in the rough? Step into the world of Diamond Draws competitions. We're not just any raffle site, we're the crown jewel of competitions. We've got big cash prizes, balloon and bubble pop instant wins. We're rated excellent on Trustpilot from over 3,000 reviews, and our gameplay is flawless. For your chance to score big, visit diamonddraws.com and make your next move a brilliant one. Come on, it's your time to shine. Diamonddraws.com. No purchase necessary. 18 plus.
Summer fashion announcement. Stripes are in, darling. Oh, and also florals. Groundbreaking, we know. Pastels and block colors too. Basically, you choose. From breathable floral duvet sets to modular wardrobes and stripy blockout blinds, IKEA has hundreds of new summer products to let summer in. Fabulous. Visit IKEA online or in store. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Looking for a sportsbook you can trust? Say hello to Kaluki, the messenger betting service where having a flutter is as easy as texting a mate. No complicated apps to download, just straightforward sports betting, competitive prices, best odds guaranteed and fast payouts. Ahead of the new season, bet on your favourite football teams and track your wins. Whether it's singles, accumulators or a bet builder, with 2-up early payout, Kaluki is the bookie to use. Enjoy the newest way to bet. Just visit kalukisportsbook.com. Over 18s only, T's and C's apply, begambleaware.org.
Get unbeatable coverage of all the biggest sports headlines with the back page review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. Every weekday morning from 6, listen to the Superstar Breakfast for all the breaking news you need to know, the latest views you need to hear, and the big name interviews you can't afford to miss. The back page review on talkSPORT with Tesco Mobile for Business. From side hustle to startup, get business phone bills for up to 40% less than the big mobile networks. For terms of verification, visit tescomobile.com/business.
Wednesday night, the League Cup, live on TalkSport 2. And that settles it! Huddersfield Town versus Leicester City. Coverage from 7:30, kick-off 7:45. An absolutely magnificent effort! Wednesday night, on high-octane football phenomenon. TalkSport 2.
E-bag goal.
That's the Sports Bar. He's Groves. I'm Cundy. Still to come, we'll be joined by Ben Jacobs to run through the latest transfer tittle-tattle. In a second, we'll be going back to the lines, talking about Alexander Isak. But Simon Jordan was back alongside Jim White earlier today, so that Newcastle should take a leaf out of the Forest owner, Marinakis.
I would have said to Liverpool, and I would imagine there has to be had some conversation, you know, you will pay this price or you will go away. It's really simple. You're not going to agitate. You can do as much as you want. And you can do it in a fashion that you believe is befitting of a big football club, but you're not going to get him for less than this, and you, son, are not going for less than that. So if they don't meet that expectation, you will do as you're told, in the same way that Marinakis filled the void. Whatever you may think about the idea, or it's very simple, Simon, to say what you would and wouldn't do because you did it 20 years ago. Well, it's just been done by Marinakis.
What, Morgan Gibbs-White?
Because he made clear in the players' mind and the players' representation and the idea that people were being inappropriate in their conduct. I will set you guys on fire unless you play properly with me and my football club.
Simon Jordan speaking earlier in the Jim White show.
Simon having a laugh. What did he do with Morgan Gibbs-White?
He gave him the contract.
Probably doubled his money. He didn't tell him, oh, you'll do this, you'll do that, I'll dictate to you. He knew that Spurs could only pay him probably 100, 120 grand a week. He probably went to him and went, you're my main player. Forget all this. I'm going to give you more than what you would have got at Spurs. And he went, all right.
The problem that with this act now is as well, he's going to the best club in the country, one of the biggest clubs in the world. That's very different from going from Forest to Spurs. And also, the money. Newcastle can't compete on the same level of money.
As you said there, Forest, at the moment, are above Spurs in the food chain. I'm not saying a bigger club, but they're above them, obviously, their Premier League status.
Afford to do that with one player.
Exactly.
So best player.
So he could have just said to him, I'm going to give you a long-term contract. There's probably a release clause in there as well.
Yeah, probably.
But don't tell anybody. It's a secret.
That can't come out.
But Simon telling him that they put him into place, it was like, don't be silly, Simon. He just, doubled his money.
He had a lot of power there, Gibbs-White. A lot of power. And the club knew it. He sat down at the table. Let's sort this out, haven't we? Let's do a new deal. They can't do that, you say. There's no way that can happen. That scenario cannot happen.
Well, because he wants to go a lot further up the food chain.
And also financially. Let's go and speak to Carl, who's a Wolves fan. All right, Carl.
How you doing?
Hello, Carl. Where are you driving to at the moment, Carl? You're whatever they're truckers, aren't you?
Yeah, normal, Bristol and Exeter. Same old, same.
Same old. Well, listen, appreciate the call, bud. What do you want to say?
Teams like Newcastle have got no chance of doing what they want in what is a corrupt league. Man City situation has been going on for years. It could have been sorted out ages ago. Forget the 100 and whatever it charges. You find them guilty of 3 of the charges and they're found guilty and it's sorted instead of being dropped. Then you've got the Chelsea situation. They keep on breaking financial fair play. UEFA have charged them twice, fined them twice in the last 3 years. Todd Bowley has admitted that when Abramovich was running the show, it was a corrupt belt, and then jokingly claim that their women's team is worth 190 million and then selling that to themselves. So how do teams like Wolves, Bournemouth, Newcastle have any chance of winning the Premier League when it is run in such a big, corrupt way?
But there's nothing corrupt. There's nothing corrupt.
Carl, Chelsea were just very, very clever.
Yeah, and this is what
they didn't break any rules.
This is what PSR does. You have to come up with ingenious ways of balancing the books somehow. And this is Chelsea were in a situation where they thought, how can we get round this? And it's clever accountancy. You know, Aston Villa have done the same thing. They've sold their women's team, I believe, or if they haven't, they're about to. This is the problem. This is why it's such a joke that the clubs have to come up with ways around it. No one wants it.
Chelsea have broken the rules because they've been fined twice by UEFA.
Yeah, that was previously. But you know, in terms of what you're saying, there's nothing corrupt about what Chelsea have done.
Yeah, the Premier League said that they would look into what Chelsea have done.
They did.
And they haven't. They've done nothing.
Yes, they did. They looked into it. It's been clear.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's the thing, Carl, right? You might look like the way they've done it, but when you've got brilliant accountants and you've got brilliant lawyers, they find ways how you can bend the rules within the rules, and it's exactly any business would do the same thing. They've just been very clever. It's not, the league isn't corrupt.
Yes, it is. How come the Man City thing is still...
Yeah, but we don't know at the moment what the outcome's going to be. I agree with you that it's taken far, far too long.
Yes, and everyone, even the City fans would want this sorted out. You're absolutely right, Carl. Going into a new season, when they were charged, and I seem to remember it was around about a year's time, we were led to believe in the early of 2025, going into spring, that we will have a resolution to this. Nothing's happened, and that hasn't helped anyone. And I don't know where we go from here.
Do you know why?
I don't know what happens going into next season.
I think Man City can afford to have better lawyers. No, what a justice system you're in, the best lawyers that you can get give you a chance of getting around rules, get away with it. And the thing is, Carl, with Man City, right, the 150 charge, whatever it is, even if they, I think it's 130 now, isn't it? It's gone up, But even if they're found guilty, right, even if they are, and the allegations against them are proven on some of them, I don't think there's any way that they're going to be relegated. I don't think there's any way that the Premier League would want Man City's money going out of the Premier League. So I think you'll find, if they are found guilty... Why have they gone this
far now then? Because they clearly felt they had a case to win. Otherwise they wouldn't have gone after.
It took them a year to realise that they had a case. Yeah. Now it's taken a year.
But then if what you've just said is true, right? Let's say for the sake of this conversation is, what's the point of taking it as far as you can? Because the punishment, how are they going to punish them then?
Yeah, but there'll be legal ramifications because they'll know, their lawyers will be telling them that obviously there'll be appeals, they'll go to Court of Sport, whatever. Yeah. But as I said before, I've said it all along, I think they'll get a big fine which they can pay, and if they get a point deduction, I think they'll give them a 25-point deduction because that becomes a story because they're at the bottom of the league. Can they get them out of relegation? Right. But as a business, as a module, the Premier League, there's no way they're going to want them out of the Premier League and they're not having their money in the Premier League.
Probably right. Let's go and speak to Danny Boy, as a Chelsea fan. All right, Dan?
Yeah, mate, how you doing?
Hi, Danny.
All right, Danny Boy, what do you want to say?
Good. Just
Chelsea cheats, Dan.
Up the Chelsea.
Cheats. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah, none of that. More about Newcastle. So I live in Newcastle, although I'm a Chelsea fan. I've lived here for a few years now. And literally, Isak's house has been up for lease before he went to Spain. I drove past it the other day. I live 5 minutes away. So, that's a story on of itself. But what they've got to do, Newcastle, is just sell them. If you've invested your money into something and it's at its peak, just sell it, move it on. Get your money out, and that's it. And it shows by keeping him on a ball and chain in the training ground, training on his own. It makes him look bigger than your club because you're desperate. You've got no striker at the minute. No one wants to play for your club. No one wants to come and live in the northeast where it's rainy and cold, aside from me.
You do.
You ever thought about being a PR for Newcastle? Mind you, the Vermont Hotel is fantastic. And
I'm here because of the ball and chain, mate. but yeah, literally, though, it is the fact that you just got to sell him. Like, take your money's worth. It's a bit like Chelsea with Cole Palmer. Let's say, I don't know, Man United came in. They wanted him for 250 mil. Yeah, it would hurt us. Yeah, we probably wouldn't have a chance of winning the league. But we've won trophies before him, and we've won trophies after. So we're going to carry on winning no matter what. Trophy. Whereas Newcastle, they're scared. They see that they have got that small club mentality, but they don't admit it. They feel like they had a bus parade to the Carabao. What team does that? But what I'm trying to say is they think...
I'll tell you what, you're being a little bit snobby. You're saying...
What I mean, though, is that they see it as that Carabao, right?
It was huge.
It's going to be a trophy. It is huge for them. Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's huge for them. And it's great that they've won it. They've beat Liverpool as well, even though that's where Isak wants to go. But it tells me that it's a trophy that's going to be one of their last in a very long time. That's why they celebrate.
But they've still got chances. I think they could be a cup team, like with the League Cup and the FA Cup.
On their day, Newcastle proved they can take anyone.
But the only thing, like what Daniel was saying there, just sell him, get rid of him. As I said before, if there's one club, because of the owners, because they're so rich, I
don't know whether that's true.
They could dig their heels in.
I don't see how anyone wins. Everyone just loses.
Yeah, but that must have before, because they're used to spending so much money and being the dominant force, as we said, with golf, with boxing, like dance is going there now as well, right? Yeah. They might think we can't take Newcastle. They might have lost a little bit of interest.
That's been mooted. That's been mooted in the past.
And even if they've lost a bit of interest, then they have nothing to lose by going, no, we're going to dig our heels in and we're going to make you stay. That's the only club I think that could do it. So, go on then, what do you think is going to happen? You think...
Well, I think
Isak will be gone.
Because it's going to be to the detriment of the club. I think keeping him around, as I said, I think there'll be a cloud over the training ground, a cloud over Eddie Howe.
Yeah, but players don't care.
No, but I think that Eddie Howe, every time he doesn't play, the press conference, it's going to be about Isak. If he doesn't move now between now and the January transfer window, and do you know what will happen? He'll probably go on loan or something will happen in January. Get it done now. Get it done. That's my advice to them.
So...
You think it's an uncomfortable situation for everyone.
So do you think
the right thing to do is to make sure that Newcastle has to move on without this over the top of them.
Yeah, but then, as I said about the owners, they'll be seen to have actually been bullied by an individual, forced his way out.
It's happened in the past, isn't it? No, Raheem Sterling did the same with Liverpool. Raheem Sterling, his agent, of course, forced the move, and that row, there's a standoff between Brendan and Raheem. In the end, he went to Manchester City for £50 million. It's the best thing to do. It's my take on it. Anyway, next up, we'll be talking about Ben Jacobs runs us through all the latest transfer tittle-tattle. This is the Sports Bar here on TalkSport. TalkSport Bet. Download the new TalkSport betting app today. 18+, begambleaware.org.
The Sports Bar with TalkSport Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com to see all our latest sign-up offers. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Hello.
Hi, my boiler's been making this sound.
Oh, like an
kind of, a bit more.
That's
it.
Yeah, that's a blocked condensate pipe.
Ah. Checkatrade approved tradespeople commit to delivering quality work and communicating honestly, even if it is in from plumbing to roofing to electrics. Download the Checkatrade app. Checkatrade, a job done right.
Checkatrade.com.
Have you ever wondered what becoming a lotto millionaire sounds like?
You want to sit down? I can confirm that you have won £1 million indeed.
That's Terry, finding out he'd won £1 million.
Oh my God.
Lotto from the National Lottery. Will you be the next millionaire? Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Claim approved. Direct line's ready to send my new laptop within 2 hours. That's how it's done. Imagine if that's how everything got done. Like teaching little Johnny to play his recorder.
Oh my.
Direct Line. That's how it's done. Theft and accidental loss claims up to £3,000. Cover limits apply. Personal possessions cover needed for items outside the home.
Fancy a competition where you don't need a maths degree and a DNA swab just to enter? We're Easy Living Competitions. It's right there in the name. You pick a prize, answer an easy question like, what's the main ingredient in scrambled eggs? Quick clue, it's eggs. And you're in. Easy to enter, easy to play. We've got everything from live cash draws to instant cash wins, and with super fast payouts direct to your bank account. How's that for easy living? So don't overthink it. Just search Easy Living Competitions now, because life's hard enough. No purchase necessary, 18+.
He's having a blinder. He's clipped the post. He's looking formidable. Then...
Substitution.
His game might be over, but yours isn't. With Betfair's Safe Sub.
Valid on selected leagues and markets only. Applies to singles, multiples and bet builder bets on qualified player outcome selections. Does not apply to odds boost. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Play Haaland with Havertz.
Brilliant goal!
Pair Salah with Saka.
And it's in!
Pick Pickford and Palmer.
Outrageous!
With Dream Team from the Sun, anything's possible.
It is game on!
Listen to TalkSport throughout the week and get unbeatable team formation inspiration from all your favourite pundits and presenters.
What a block!
Be part of the drama this season.
Fantastic finish!
Dream Team from the Sun on TalkSport, the free-to-play fantasy football game where there's a share of $100,000 up for grabs. 18+, terms and conditions apply.
TalkSport Drive. Tomorrow afternoon from 4 on TalkSport.
With me, Darren Bent, and Andy Goldstein.
The UK's fastest driving force in sports radio.
Powering you home at the speed of sport.
Hard-hitting opinion and exclusive interviews with the biggest names in the game.
Excellent handling of the day's biggest sports news.
TalkSport Drive with Andy Goldstein and Darren Bent. Tomorrow afternoon from 4 on TalkSport.
The fastest football on the way home.
From the final whistle to last orders, it's got to be the Sports Bar.
This is record-breaking Sports Bar here on TalkSport. Jason Kane alongside Perry Grove. Still to come, we've got the midnight train just after midnight. No sport, no politics, no religion, nothing too serious. Other than that, anything goes within reason. Pick up the phone and have a little bit of fun with myself and Perry. First, though, it's now time to take a look at the latest transfer. To tell with TalkSport Bet.
Bring it on. Bet.com to see all our latest sign-up offers. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
And to guide us through all of that is one and only Ben Jacobs joins us. Benny boy, good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Good evening. Hello, Ben.
You? Very well indeed, Ben. Now, I don't know whether you heard any of the show, but guess what we've been talking about? Have a guess.
Could it begin with an I and then with a K?
You've absolutely nailed it. Yeah, listen, so the latest is, as we understand, that he's told Newcastle he doesn't want to play for them anymore. The move, he's trying to force it through. Has anything changed? And how is this going to play out, Ben? What's the end game here?
Yeah, I think you'll know as a former player that you have to change your perspective if the window shuts, regardless of whether you move or stay. You either move on or you're at a club, and then you have to think again. Because if Alexander Isak is genuine in saying, regardless of outcome, he'll never play for Newcastle again, that means, in theory, no Premier League football, no selection potentially for the World Cup if he's not playing. So I think there's games here. And Isak's firm reaction to double down comes off the back of reports suggesting Newcastle's ownership have doubled down and will not sell now for any price. And I think neither extreme or position is correct to my understanding. Alexander Isak wants Liverpool, is giving full priority to Liverpool, and won't change that perspective or consider reintegration unless actually Liverpool tell him it's impossible this summer. That's scenario number one. More likely, Newcastle get in their replacements, they reach out to Liverpool.